Hey! Hey!
Hello!
It's us! Your defense team Sunday. Well, 2/3 of the defense team anyway, are with me today. I shall go first. Hi everybody, my name is Christian, aka Fluffy Goomba, on several socials, mainly on TikTok and Twitch every Tuesday, Friday, and Sunday. Also, whenever I feel like it. Playing a variety of games with a variety of wonderful people. You can also find me on Total Party Kiss on Sundays at 8 p.m. EST, playing Ragna of the Iron Claw, leading an Echo Knight fighter. But this Sunday at 8 p.m., we're doing an art stream and a Q&A stream, led and hosted by the wonderful Super Dylan. So why don't you go next, Dylan?
Okay, my name is Super Dylan, or Dylan, and I'm very excited to be here to play some games with my lovely friends, and I'm excited to host Tragedy's art stream later today. And you can find me on the Adam list, on the Welcome In, or wherever you get your podcasts.
Yes.
You can also find me everywhere on the internet as @Super Dylan.
Amazing. I love them so much. Next up, we got my best friend, one of the best friends of all time, Andre. Say hi.
Hello everyone. My name is Andre. You can find me at Andre Rivera Art. And you can find me on Tragedies on Sunday. You can also find me on our Sunday streams with Dylan and Christian and Serenity, who is away today.
Mm-hmm.
And we usually do Phoenix Wright, Ace Attorney, which is super fun.
Yes.
You can also find me on the Adam list on every other Wednesday on the Welcome In, which also Dylan is editing the 11th episode of, and it's very good. And also for Redline, which is also GM'd by Dylan. And also, after that, then I'll be on the Power Rangers long shot.
Yes.
With Christian and Dylan and Serenity and also Wally.
Yes. And AJ.
And AJ.
Yeah.
Oh my god, that's gonna rock.
So we have a full house back.
that is
Star-studded cast for a GMing premiere. Oh boy.
Mm-hmm.
While we're not playing Phoenix Wright today, I saw this game was on sale on Steam, and it had some pretty nice reviews. So I was very interested. It's the 1980s, alternate 1980s. We got demonic cults, and we've got lesbian detectives. What's not to love? That's come on. That's just sounds amazing in all forms. I will say that there is mature content coming up. The developers themselves on their page described it as having discussions of same-sex relationships, homophobic attitudes, smoking, alcohol use, mild rude language, occult symbolism, representation, bless you, of religions,
Bless you.
and corporal punishment. There's
You
also.
hear it through the. I muted my mic. Did you hear it through the muted
Oh,
mic?
yeah.
You didn't need to write,
The
buddy.
fuck?
You didn't need to write, buddy.
The fuck? It was red.
Nope.
Okay.
I heard you fall asleep. So why don't we get this puppy started before Andre has any more mic issues, shall we?
Let's get this puppy started, alright?
Let's get this started, yeah! On an ordinary evening in Nampa, Idaho, a woman is alone in her kitchen, heating up soup on the stovetop for a late dinner. Distracted by the radio and her daily cares, she reaches out for the handle of the pot, forgetting that, in that moment, that the pot has no insulation and that she has taken off her oven gloves. She screams in pain as a stripe burns across her right palm. At that very moment, hundreds of miles away in Maine, her mother is awoken from a sound sleep by a mysterious pain in her right hand. Science has no explanation for these events. They would have you dismiss such connections as coincidence. But for just 3 easy payments of $19.95, you too can explore the mysteries. Paranormality, 13th Q Avenue, Oswick. What is that? What is TA? Not anything. Not
Texas or Tennessee.
Not Texas or Tennessee.
Made up.
Made up land. 844-840-22. 10-day money back guarantee. Now allowed 4 to 6 weeks to do delivery for no company from COD. I think Dylan should voice this character, honestly.
Okay.
We'll see in a second why.
Oh, okay. I was like, I don't know who this is.
This is why.
I open the office door and make my way inside, feeling unreasonably apprehensive. Let's see what they look like. Oh. Okay. Yeah. Okay.
Amazing.
Hello?
Hello, Diane. Glad you could make it. He stands from his desk and walks over to shake my hand in greeting. Hope you found your way in all right.
Oh, yes. The lady at the front desk was very welcoming. She told me where to go. I've never been in... Oh, wait. Is this me or is this...
I think this is you. This is you. Go ahead.
Okay. I've never been inside a police department before. I never did any sort of crime as a child, and I've been lucky enough to never be a victim as an adult. I'm the sort that usually stays out of trouble. Because of that, and because of history and personal reasons, the idea of the police has always been a little frightening. If I didn't know Mr. Williams already, I'm not sure I would have dared to step inside. It's quieter than I imagined, cleaner as well, though I wouldn't tell Mr. Williams that. It really looks a lot like any other big office out there, with all the other workers in jackets and ties shuffling their papers. And a nice gentleman in the big room asked if I needed help and called me ma'am.
Professional manners are a requirement in this department, ma'am.
Being called ma'am makes me feel like I need to check my face for wrinkles. I'm not that old. I make pouting eyes at him, and he returns a tolerant chuckle.
Won't the kids call you that at school?
The students call me Miss. There's a difference. Miss Carter for the older grades, Miss Diane for the kindergartners, and I generally prefer them. Anyway, I'm only a substitute teacher. Most of the time it's just me and my writing.
Ah, right. You're an author. So when's your next book due out?
Not for a while. I've got things in the works, but, you know, books don't finish themselves overnight. They don't pay for themselves overnight either. 1/3 of my advance when I sign a contract, 1/3 when they accept my manuscript, and the last third doesn't come in until the book is published.
Damn.
I can't control that last part no matter how fast I work. Editing, cover art, printing, delivery, that's all out of my hands. There's a lot of waiting. And since I'm filling in absences, my work with the school system is unpredictable. So's the babysitting. Folks don't need me all the time. So I'm very excited about this opportunity. Timmy's last trip to the vet didn't do wonders for my husband. Oh, husband? Household budget.
I mean, they're one and the same if you think about it.
I don't know why my eyes auto-corrected that word.
Man of the house, not man is the house.
Yeah. Household budget. That's very funny. He's worth every penny, of course, but it was more than I wanted to spend. Coupon clipping can only do so much.
Timmy the dog.
Yes, my baby. I've got pictures right here. I fished my wallet out of my purse and flipped through the plastic protector pages. Actually, very cute dog.
Yes.
10 out of 10.
10 out of 10.
Look at that smile. Isn't he precious?
Oh, I remember that little ball of fluff. You brought him over once or twice when you were sitting Kizzy, Shelty, right?
less. I've never worried that much about pedigree. Timmy is my best friend. That's all that matters.
No.
I tuck the wallet away and adjust the strap on my shoulder, getting everything in respectable order. Mr. Williams, I wanted to say, I really appreciate you thinking of me as a source and an expert. Folklore study so often gets overlooked in terms of its applications. Especially these days, so many police departments turning con artists and bored housewives who call themselves psychic. Ever since that Allison Mayberry had a vision and told the sheriffs in Montana where they could find this kidnapped little girl, paranormal activity has been all the rage. Every lawn club lady wants to believe her champagne dreams might have some deep, hidden meaning.
God, you guys remember Miss Cleo?
I sure do.
Oh, man. Jesus. Call Miss Cleo on the hotline.
Oh my God,
She was before my time.
Oh, she was.
She's amazing.
Call Miss Cleo on the hotline, child.
I don't know how. I feel like she was around forever.
Oh, that's because she was on every commercial on every channel ever.
Ever. Personally, I think Miss Mayberry just happened to see the kidnapper during that child, driving that child around the state in his pickup truck. And when she called in for the reward, she made up the story about a vision so she could drive attention to her fortune-telling business.
Oh yeah, she got arrested for super fraud. It was bad.
Yeah.
Fraud and embezzlement or something like that.
It worked, too. I hear her client list is now a who's who of Hollywood. Even the government wants her advice on deals and diplomacy. And by now, the Soviets probably have their own Mrs. Mayberry reading tea leaves behind the Iron Curtain to retaliate.
Not the Soviets!
Oh my God. And I'm not being mean. I don't hate Allison Mayberry. I respect her skill at marketing. My agent only wishes I could attract that kind of attention. And of course, I'm glad that little girl was saved before something unspeakable could happen. It doesn't change the fact that psychic powers are still a bunch of hooey. I'm glad you're not taken in by that flim-flam.
Flim-flam!
Mm-hmm. You heard me. Flim-flam, I say.
Flim-flam, I say.
Never.
Aye, with the flim-flam and such. Actually, Kizzy's taking one of those correspondent courses to get her psychic certificate after high school. What?
Oh, geez. Okay. Whoops. Well, then I take it back.
She told me that when there's bad juju on the case, it would be dangerous to bring a sensitive on board. Wouldn't want an investigator to wind up possessed by demons.
Okay.
Oh, man.
Juju?
Juju?
Right.
Juju? Demons? Oops, did not mean to do that. Oopsies.
What's all this about?
What's all this? Is he suggesting that I got this job because of an over-imaginative teenager recommended me as the least sensitive expert available?
You got no juju.
My God. So, what exactly is the situation? What's the case?
I'll tell you more when Jack gets here.
Jack?
Jack is the partner you'll be working with in the field to keep you safe.
Oh dear, that could be uncomfortable, especially if he's one of those old-fashioned types who thinks ladies should only see a sanitized version of reality. I wouldn't be able to investigate anything that way. But then, I don't really want to get into anything dangerous either.
Especially with demons and juju.
Yeah.
Your job is to be smart and follow orders, so don't get crazy and try to play hero, you hear?
Who, me?
Kizzy always said you're much fiercer than you look. Suppose you'd have to be, or you wouldn't last long as a sub. Those kids can be vicious.
Oh, they're not so bad. Even the troublemakers usually just want someone to pay attention. Oh? There's a sound at the door, probably the detective that Mr. Williams said was coming.
Ah, there she is.
She? My wife.
Wow.
Damn!
Wow.
The whole pan up.
The whole pan up, the sexy saxophone. Got it on lock.
The door opens and she walks in. She could have stepped right off a recruitment poster. Long legs, broad shoulders, black hair, straight and thick and sleek, light brown skin, still untouched by time and scars.
Dang it.
She walks it like a woman in complete control of her body, never surprised, never vulnerable, the very model of a woman warrior.
Oof.
And far too familiar. Jackie.
Is that me?
That's you.
Is that my line?
That's you, buddy.
I'm not having this relationship with myself.
I could never. Hello, Diane.
Her eyes meet mine, cold and blue, giving nothing away. She closes the door behind her, sealing us all into the office together.
You two know each other.
Yeah, we went to the same college. Oh my word, she's gorgeous. I can't stop staring. This is so unfair. I'm not even wearing my cute shoes. But why should I care what she thinks? I doubt she's even looking. At my shoes. I mean, I know she's looking at me.
Yep.
I can't look away. She holds out her hand to me to shake. All business.
It's good to see you again.
Likewise.
Well, save me the trouble of introductions. Well, let's get down to business.
He brings out a small, a manila folder filled with papers, photographs, and blocky black and white Xeroxes of handwritten reports.
Over the past month, there have been several reports of small fires set in wooded areas. Never too deep in the backwoods, always near the neighborhoods.
He lays down a map and taps several locations.
Looked like campfires, but not in any designated camp areas. The people were sent around to investigate fire safety. Weather's been pretty wet lately, so the risk wasn't high, but we couldn't count on that.
Only you can prevent forest fires.
Yep.
I don't laugh.
So rewind that clip real quick. Don't clip this. Don't clip this, Twitch.
We figured it was most likely kids, or maybe a tram, but been more folks homeless since they slashed the HUD budget.
He runs his blunt fingers over the papers, hunting for some signal in the fringes, and works loose a few sheets with photographs clipped to them.
Crew came back and said they'd found something weird in the fires. Bones, funny symbols, the devil's work.
Not everything that falls outside of the Judeo-Christian.
That's how the crew told that's how the crew told it to me. So that's how I'm telling it to you.
I close my mouth.
And now there's this new thing reported. Shops been vandalized, weird symbols painted all over the windows. Owner insisted on cleaning it all ASAP so it didn't drive off her customers, but we've got pictures of what it looked like fresh. You probably want to talk to her, see if she knows anything. Address and phone number are here. Oops, I mean do that. There you go.
He looks at me, his normally warm eyes serious.
You're my expert here. Is this stuff connected? What does it mean? Who's behind it? And how do we make it stop? Y'all know how to work up people. Y'all know how worked up people can get with witchcraft. We don't want things getting out of hand.
He jerks his chin in Jackie's direction.
Jack's job is to look official, act tough, ask questions, run any data you need through the system, and keep you out of trouble. Don't take stupid chances. Let Jack protect you, and I don't want to hear you got yourself shot or stabbed or had some blood curses on your firstborn.
I'm sure I'm in safe hands. I wish that were true.
All right, and I'll let the two of you plan out your strategy.
Right, Captain.
you give Timmy a cuddle for me. You hear?
Yes, sir. Mr. Williams? Captain?
It'll do.
He walks out and closes the door behind him, leaving us in a semi-privacy. Sound, at least, should be blocked, but the glass windows in the walls leave us still in view of other detectives. I suppose the police don't want anyone to be able to move around inside an office undetected. So, here we are, just the two of us. Hi.
Hi.
You're looking well. That sounds brainless, doesn't it? How have you been?
Can't complain.
I wait for her to ask the same question in response, but she says nothing.
Damn.
Is your family well?
As far as I know.
And again, she stays silent. She doesn't even look at me.
Damn.
I can't believe this. I have suffered through publishing, wine and cheese nights, my great aunt's birthday party, and even PTA meetings, and small talk was never this excruciating. Well, there's no need for my best manners here, is there? Did you know it was going to be me that you were assigned to? Did you know I was here before you walked through that door?
Yeah, but I didn't tell the boss I knew you.
Do they know that you're...
No.
Oh.
Nobody knows.
It's what I expected, really. Mr. Williams is a nice man, but the world is what it is. And in this world, the South is not a safe place to be known as a homosexual.
Yes.
It's hard enough just being a single woman without a man to, quote-unquote, to keep you.
Yep.
Don't worry, I won't say anything. We both have reputations to protect. I never expected to see you here, though. I don't think law enforcement was one of your career goals. She looks at me for a moment.
Well, things don't always work out the way we expect. We're here to do a job, right? So let's get to it.
Right. This isn't about us. It's about solving a mystery and getting paid for it so I can pay my bills and go on with my life. My life, where I've been doing just fine without her.
Oh.
Let's look at these pictures. Computer in hand.
Hands.
Yeah. She brings out an enlarged photograph of a scene in the woods, an ashy circle that must once have been a campfire with a small blackened skeleton lying among the rocks.
This was the most recent sight and one that really started ringing alarm bells about cultists. Take a look and tell me what you see.
All right.
Hunt for clues is best performed with a mouse. Would you like to switch the mouse free mode? No, I'm good.
I love mouse.
I've got the mouse. Click on the image to investigate points of interest.
Is that fucking a horse?
There you go.
No, it's a bird.
It's a bird.
That's a big fucking bird.
That's huge.
That's a fucking dinosaur. I squint at the scorched bones. 2 legs, a long neck, and a beaked head. Obviously a bird. Too big for a pigeon. The beak is too long for a chicken and too short for a seagull. And that's all the birds.
That's all the birds in the world.
Do you think this was a duck? The 4th kind of bird?
The fourth.
Jackie leans over, her arm brushing mine. She doesn't seem to notice.
Yeah, probably, but I'm not an expert.
It might have been someone's dinner. They could have thrown the leftover scraps in the fire to clean them up.
In a complete piece, like,
Yeah. They put them back
Untouched.
after the meal.
like they organized it.
They did
afterwards?
not eat the wings. They didn't like pull them off. The drumsticks are intact.
Yeah.
If our perp roasted a duck and ate it, the bones would be more
There
scary.
it is.
And even over a campfire, you wouldn't cook the head.
You've done this?
Camping? Yeah.
She doesn't offer any details. Okay, so someone burned a whole duck. It must have really been dead when they brought it here.
So we're going with the duck theory. All right.
The point of this game is that it wasn't homophobia that broke us up. I'm just an idiot. and she could not deal with it any longer.
No. You're sick of your shit.
She's sick of your shit. Your duck-related shit.
I don't like to think about a poor little duck being burned alive, but even if someone were that twisted and mean, they would need a cage to hold it in place, wouldn't they? It's possible that it was a pet that died, and they were giving it a funeral. Poets say the souls of... Oh, God. Poets say the souls of loyal pets cross a rainbow bridge to a meadow just outside of heaven to wait for us.
What?
Yeah,
I
was
don't
that
believe-
Keats? Was that Keats, Diane?
Uh-huh.
Oh, shit.
A funeral pyre might connect to Viking traditions about Bifrost, the burning rainbow that leads to the realm of the gods.
This duck got a Viking funeral?
Apparently, the symbols on the ground don't look like Fithark runes, though. I suppose it's more likely that it was a sacrifice.
That's what we were worried about. Blood sacrifice.
Animal sacrifices aren't always about negative energies. Incense, valuables, and foods are often burned to give them to deities.
True.
Because the burnt offerings disappear and the smoke drifts away, it's like they've been taken up in the hands of a god.
Were any of these burnt offerings people?
Not usually.
If these fire incidents keep occurring, we'll have to worry what they might burn next.
Right.
Amazing.
There are, I count quickly, 10 large pieces of paper or cardboard placed around the fire. Maybe wrapping paper. It's about the right color and the pieces appear to be torn unevenly. Most of the paper pieces have large symbols drawn onto them in thick black marker. Some have smudged out of readability. The ground was probably damp and the water damaged some of the symbols. As Mr. Williams said, the weather's been wet a lot lately.
Yep.
Pieces of paper are weighted down with stones and twigs to hold them in place. I don't know what these mean offhand, but they look Indian. I'll copy them down in my notebook so I can look up more information at home. As well as my set of encyclopedias, I have a number of guides to world religion and mythology on my bookshelves. Some of them are left over from my school days, others I bought as resources for my writing. I brought a couple of books on local legend with me to the police department today just in case they were useful, but it wouldn't have been practical to carry the whole collection. I wish whoever took this photograph had thought to move the rocks a little so I could see the symbols more clearly. I do the best to draw the symbols, but I know I'm missing bits and pieces. I'm glad the photographer managed to take in the whole scene, but it would have been helpful if they'd included some notes about orientation.
Can I ask a question? How did he take this pic? How did this photographer take this picture?
He was carried on the wings of a pigeon.
No. Duck.
A duck. Duck.
The other duck.
The other duck.
The other duck.
Yeah.
The 4 species of birds.
The duck detective, if you will.
Yeah. With some rituals, it makes a difference that what you place facing north. The precise position of these symbols might be important to deciphering their meaning. I don't suppose this site is still intact?
No. Oh, okay. I was just checking if I was muted. No, it was all cleaned up. It's not exactly a crime scene, so putting up tape to preserve it would worry citizens for no reason.
Did they keep those paper symbols anywhere?
I'm pretty sure they were thrown away.
Why?
Terrible.
What?
We at the local police department rely on hunches and raw instinct as opposed to evidence and DNA and evidence.
That's a pity.
Alright, let's see.
2 large logs are placed at the edge of the clearing. They look like they might make nice places to sit and watch a fire burn. There's nothing occult or suspicious about the logs, but they do suggest that this was a regular campfire area being used, or at least a part of park that expects visitors to come and have a seat.
Alright, let's see what else. What else could we click on?
The trees?
Trees? Nope.
What about the lines?
The lines? These? Okay.
There are straight lines on the ground radiating outward from where the fire was to the edges of the cleared space. Someone must have stabbed a tool or large stick into the damp ground and dragged it outwards again and again. Each line is a couple feet long and doesn't show much wobbling. It must have taken some time to set it all up. The fire is the central circle, and these rays come out like a sun or a wheel. Those are both strong, basic symbols that show up in a lot of belief systems.
It's true.
The wheel of fortune, or of life and rebirth, the wheels of law and progress, fate and consequences which come back around to themselves. Sun gods are central to many pantheons. There is no life without the sun.
Very true.
Or the lines might only be meant to connect the fire to these other symbols, or draw attention to them.
Alright, let's see what else.
There's one more clue.
One more clue. What could it be?
Is it the tree?
No, no. It makes it.
I like the. What about the dirt around the pit?
Nope.
No. What about the stones next to the symbols?
Nope.
What about the grass?
Nope.
What about the stones around the bird?
There you go.
What the fuck?
There were names of a small fire, smaller than the ones I remember making for s'mores on scout trips. It looks like it was less than 2 feet across. The fire area is surrounded by stones to keep the flames from getting out of control, just like they taught us in scouting. I don't see any tools nearby like buckets or pokers, but the fire starter might have taken those away afterwards. There's not much wood left, but it hasn't been broken up and scattered. The fire was probably allowed to burn itself out, or almost out, and then watered.
What's everyone's camping experience here?
Pre-pandemic, I went camping every year.
Nice.
I've been camping a few times.
I have also been camping a handful of times.
I'm not a good camper.
It's pretty nice.
It's not my favorite outside activity.
No.
Fire holds a central place in the majority of religions, so the presence of a fire doesn't point in any specific direction.
I don't love camping, said all of the city people.
Yeah.
It's not the best. Like,
It's not the best. It's fine. I do like to just be barefoot for like 5 days and just live in the dirt.
in the dirt.
It's very nice.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, too many movies have taught me that the woods ain't the safest.
Oh yeah, that's where we die.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For people with lots of melanin, for femme presenting individuals.
Anyone who's ever had sex.
Anyone who's ever had sex.
Ever. You're done.
You're done.
Whew, I'm 1 for 3. Let's go.
Hey, Norton, how you doing? Thanks for joining us.
Norton.
Ah. Fire can be used to burn incense or sacrifices, to provide protection, to stand in as a representation of divinity or truth, to focus meditation, or just to provide heat and light during a ceremony. For that matter, a campfire can just be a campfire. It doesn't have to be anything occult at all. For mystical clues, I need to look elsewhere. I think that's all I can work out from this scene right now. I put the photograph back in the folder.
Jackie!
Oh, sorry. Any initial conclusions?
Well, no, not so much. Other than whoever did this didn't want to start a forest fire.
Why do you say that?
Well,
What do we say?
the fire itself, the was surrounded. Look at the fire. It's completely surrounded by rocks with bare ground around that, just the way they taught us to make campfires when I was little. That's how you keep a fire under control. This fire was managed safely. And didn't the captain say that this wasn't a camping area? If that's true, then whoever made the fire had to set it up themselves. Whatever they were doing, they weren't trying to start a bigger fire.
Sounds reasonable.
That made her happy.
You should look at the next scene.
Right, the store. I looked down at the introductory notes. The Lucky Penny. I've never heard of it, at least not that I can remember. Although the map in the file folder shows it's only a little ways from a nice little shopping street where I found a cute dress once.
Nice.
Oh, good God. Unfortunately...
Good find, Diane.
Unfortunately, a block or two can make all the difference when it comes to how desirable a location is.
Very true.
These shop names sounded strictly off-brand. Probably small and rundown.
That's probably true. I mean, that's just facts. Like some areas in my neighborhood I've never been down. I'll go down once. I'm like, this was here?
Yeah.
What the hell? What the fuck?
What the hell is that?
What the fuck is this?
Photograph is focused on the window graffiti, so I can't get a good view of the area or tell what the shop sells, other than the jewelry displays right behind the class.
So they sell jewelry.
Yeah. I don't think there... I don't think there'd be a lot of high-end jewelry for sale in that neighborhood, so it's probably a small local designer. Maybe the owner is the artist? In any case, it's obvious why the owner was so upset about the vandalism. Even in a bad neighborhood, being marked up like that can't be good for business. What clues are there here to tell me about the culprit's motives?
Alright.
Do-do-do-do.
Andre.
The
Andre.
eye. Click on that eye.
On the
That
eye first?
got
The eyeball.
There you go.
There's a very large eye symbol in the center of the palm. An eye inside a hand would usually be a hamsa, a protection symbol from the Middle East. It's meant to ward off evil forces.
So it's not an evil eye?
It's an anti-evil eye. But that's always depicted on the right hand, not the left. Putting it on the left hand could mean a reversal?
So it is an evil eye.
Jesus Christ, I'm such an idiot.
The detective work
Oh my
here.
God.
Love it.
Okay. It might be. I try to remember. The eye inside the hand was also used in the Mississippi culture. It might represent a portal to the other world.
Mississippi has culture?
Yeah.
Mississippi as in the people, like the Native American people.
Yeah.
Yes.
Not
yeah.
the state of.
Not the state of Mississippi.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
The eye inside the hand was also used in the Mississippi culture. Oh, I said this already.
Yes, you did. I appreciate the repeat.
Yeah. Would marking this store as a portal to another realm be a good thing or a bad thing? Are you a good witch? Or a bad
witch.
I really can't tell what this signifies.
Dylan, you always make the references I never expect to hear, and I love you for it. God. So good. What's next, gang?
No.
Oh no.
Oh no.
Are you a good witch or a bad witch?
What's next, gang? What are we clicking on next?
The fingertips somewhere around there. There's like a symbol at each fingertip.
Oh, sure.
It's interesting.
Sure.
This is strange. There are symbols all over this hand, and they look like alchemy symbols, but they're the wrong symbols, and they're in the wrong place.
How are they wrong?
Palm readers have a lot of traditions about naming parts of the hand so they can talk about the differences between them. The mount of Venus, the plane of Mars, the finger of Jupiter. I know what those symbols look like and where they should be placed on a hand. These are totally different. I can't read what all the symbols inside the fingers are. They're too messy. And I don't have every single alchemy symbol memorized, so I don't know what all of them mean, but I do recognize these triangles with the lines through them. Those are the 4 classical elements: earth, air, fire, and water. And that's not what's supposed to be drawn inside a hand. Also, the palmistry symbols are always drawn inside the finger shapes, not over them. This setup is more like a hand of mysteries, except then there would be a fish.
Fish! Fish!
Jackie blinks a few times, but doesn't ask about the fish. I sketch as many of the symbols as I can into my notebook for later reference.
Next.
What about the little splotch at the bottom?
Right here?
Well, I can't see your mouse, so I assume.
Oh, okay.
A pattern on the window is made with some dark reddish substance. It doesn't look like paint. It's far too thick and clumpy, and there's no running drips. Instead, there's a single splotch over to the side of the main pattern. Possibly that's where the vandal tested their materials before starting to create the larger hand.
That's courteous.
It doesn't look like a deliberate design, at least.
That's that's courteous. At least you like test it out before you just make a mess on a window.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That makes it easier to focus on the substance itself. Is this blood?
I take it back. It's not as courteous as I thought.
The on-site team said it looked like some kind of blood paste. It didn't smell like makeup. They took a sample for the lab before the site was cleaned up. Test results aren't back yet, so we don't know if it's blood. And if it is blood, we don't know if it's human.
It's the duck.
Oh my god, it's the duck.
There are a lot of ways to make red paste, I'm sure, but that blood color is very unsettling.
Last one.
Have you clicked on the fingies?
Well, the fingies?
Mm-hmm.
There you go.
It's an outline in the shape of a hand, slightly similar to the ones you'd see on signs to advertise palm reading services. These lines mean the palm is facing forward, so it's a left hand. That could mean the left hand path, dark magic, or breaking taboos. In palm reading, the left hand also means hidden potential or unchanged fate.
I'm learning so much.
Wow.
The right hand is supposed to reflect what you've chosen for yourself, and the left hand is your original destiny, if you'd let fate carry you along. It's still nonsense, but I appreciate that palmistry has some respect for people choosing their own futures.
Thanks for being open-minded, Diane.
That's really cool, but it's not real. That's cool, I
It's
guess.
fucking real, you idiot.
That's a movie, of course.
It's a bunch of
But I am an
chutzpah.
expert in all of
It's a bunch of bullshit, obviously.
I'm an expert in
Who am
Hui.
I to say?
I have a master's degree in Hui.
Oh shit.
And a praised palm also means stop, so it could be a warning. The pointer finger on this hand is longer than the other fingers, which isn't right. Fingers don't look like that. At least, not usually.
I'm looking at my hands now, like I'm looking at my hands like legit. I'm like, that's what
Oh, I did notice that the hand looks kind of stumpy.
it is kind of stumpy.
Yeah. That could be trying to draw attention to something, or representing the power of an idea, or it could mean weight. Basically, it could mean anything.
It can be fucking everything.
It could mean come back to my place at 5. It
Yeah.
could mean...
Did I mention my degree in Hui?
I'm working on my doctorate.
Ooh.
Or it could just be sloppy painting.
Hey, there you go.
Wow. I think that's all I can work out from the scene right now.
So, what do you think?
About the case? She raises an eyebrow because I said something stupid again. Of course.
Because I'm a dumbass.
I'm so
Of
dumb.
course. About the case. Well, so far it looks pretty eclectic rather than any clear tradition. There's a lot of symbolism, but it's not matching up. I don't think I can draw any conclusions yet about what sort of person or people might be involved. I need more information. I point to the photo of the shop. When did this happen?
A couple of nights ago, the owner, Jolene Wilcox, called in first thing in the morning when she came by to open up for the day. No witness reports, so it could have happened any time after closing the day before.
Do you know what the shop sells?
The papers say knickknacks.
That could cover quite a range. Do you think we could visit? I'd like to see the store for myself and talk to the owner. She might know things she hasn't thought to mention.
Sure, I've got the Lucky Penny phone number here. Do you want to call? You're more.
She hesitates.
Friendly sounding.
I wonder what she originally meant to say.
Place our bets. What do you think she meant to say?
Nicer.
Yeah. You're the official representative. She'll take you more seriously. And I'm better at making friends in person than on the phone.
Opposite for me.
Yeah, I don't know what you're talking about.
I found it's a lot easier to make a good impression when I can see someone and smile at them.
Discord.
On the phone, sometimes, I sound too much like a little girl.
Oh, all right.
God!
Who are you?
When your ex fucking hates you.
Oh, fuck.
Who the hell are you?
She picks up the phone, holding the receiver pressed between her ear and her shoulder, and dials a number. I find myself staring at her finger as it moves around and around the rotary dial, almost hypnotically. I always get turned on when women dial phones. I suppose the department hasn't upgraded their equipment for years. Most offices have touch-tone phones by now, so they can program in a few numbers for easy redial. But then, what most people want to dial quickly is the fire department or the police. If you already are the police, who do you want to call? The Ghostbusters.
There it is. That's the answer. Yep.
Obvious.
Classic.
Obviously.
Hello? Is this Mrs. Wilcox? Hi, my name is... I forgot my name. I have to look it up.
I have to look at my badge.
I look away, trying not to make things any more awkward than they already are.
What?
She's so poised. I was gonna say pissed, honey, but is that the word I would use if I were describing the scene? She looks confident, professional, like she completely fits in her attire. I don't just mean that the clothing fits her well, although it does, but that she looks consistent. Everything fits together. Her face, her clothes, her attitude. She looks comfortable in her skin, like a person who knows where she's belongs.
1980s simp, everybody. This is what it looks like when authors simp for people. Just can't say they like, damn, they fine as fuck. That's it. That's all I gotta say.
Yeah.
Fine. Shit, that's it. I don't need all this loquacious shit.
Yeah.
Loquacious.
I said
She
it.
was like a well-organized bookshelf, alphabetical.
What the fuck does that mean, Diane? What does that
No,
mean?
I made that up. That was not. That was not in the script.
The way you said it, it sounded so natural.
It sounded like what they would say.
I wouldn't be surprised. I wouldn't be surprised, honestly.
Compared to her, I feel like a child wearing my mother's dress.
Stop comparing yourself to a child.
Why? Still desperately trying not to tip over when I walk.
Are you a baby giraffe? What's wrong with you?
A baby giraffe.
Yeah. I didn't think I'd ever see her again. I certainly never expected to see her like this. A professional whose hair is longer than mine.
I love this game.
But now that I have, I can't imagine her any other way. Jackie hangs up.
I hope you're done. She doesn't want us to disturb the customers, but she says we can come by at 5 when she's closing up.
So we've got a bit of time then.
Oh Lord.
Oh God, I hope not.
It's only mid-afternoon. What am I supposed to do? Go home and then come back? That seems like a waste. She stands there, watching me. I have to say something. So...
How about that weather, huh?
How about this gay weather?
How about those bookshelves?
when did you decide to get longer hair? Have you seen Carol recently?
Carol? Oh, Carol. Oh, that's been a while. No, I haven't heard from her since... last I knew, she wanted to join the Air Force or something.
Cool.
No idea if that ever worked out.
Oh.
Pity. It's a pity that it didn't even mean anything to you.
Damn.
Anyone else? I mean, in your life?
No, I'm not in a relationship. It's a job that gives me purpose. Family. I don't have time for anything else.
Detective.
You see, I'm hard-boiled.
Hard-boiled.
Ah. I wait for a moment, but she doesn't say anything more. She doesn't ask about me.
Damn.
Well, fine. She doesn't care, and we're here for business and nothing more. I can be a mature adult about this.
Sure
And
about
not
that.
a child wearing my mother's dress, walking around with my baby giraffe.
This is maybe too visceral a description.
I'm sure you have other cases that could use your assistance. Is it all right if I sit here for a bit to read the rest of this file and go through my books and notes? The captain gave me an overview, but there's a lot of background information in the folder that I haven't read yet.
That's fine. Call me if you need anything. There's coffee and water down the hall.
I wrinkle my nose.
Still ate coffee?
Sorry, it's just nasty. It's so bitter, it tastes like you've burned the water.
That's why you put sugar in it.
She shakes her head with only the faintest smile and leaves. She always drank too much coffee, especially after a late night. I remember.
Flashback.
Oh my god!
Flashback.
We met in college. Good old Tiger State. That's what it stands for.
Go Tigers!
Go Tigers!
Go Tigers.
Since neither of us could have afforded a private university, it was public in-state tuition or nothing.
Oh.
What does the A stand for in Tiger? If it's TA.
It's the A in state.
That's so unorganized. I hate that.
That's not unusual. There There were literally thousands of other freshmen in the same situation every year. Nothing special about
What
it.
is this music?
It's a Charlie Brown Christmas by Vince Guaraldi, don't you know?
Purely by chance, we were both assigned to the same English composition section our first semester. It was a required course, not something Jackie signed up for. High school education can be very uneven, so the university wants to ensure every student can read and write and put together a basic essay before they're allowed to progress.
In university?
Mhm.
That should be established way before that.
When you take a couple thousand freshmen and split them into sections, the sections are still enormous. I don't know how many other students were in our class, but there were a lot, and I never knew them. I wouldn't even have recognized them the next year.
I mean, that's facts. That's just how college be.
Yeah, that's just how that goes.
That's how that goes.
Class isn't how we met. The TA for our composition section, that's teaching assistant, I'm smart, a grad student who does gut work for a professor, recommended that we students attend a poetry reading one evening to enhance our understanding of the subject.
That's what happens.
I went because I was interested in poetry and writing. Jackie went to get extra credit to save her grade, and that's where I first really saw her. In those first moments, oh my
shit.
God, college Jackie.
Whoa.
Oh man!
I get it.
I get it. I get it.
Mm-hmm. I didn't even know she was a girl. I'd never seen a girl like that with hacked off hair and spikes and a big leather jacket. You never saw that in Sunday school, which is where I was hatched.
We're hatched.
Hatched? I'm getting nervous. What is this game?
Sorry, I'm ad-libbing again.
I love it.
Okay.
I'm so in love with it. So good.
Despite our differences, or maybe because of them, we made friends. Opposites attract, right? I was fascinated by her, and she was tolerant enough to indulge me.
Yep.
So we were off to a great start.
I guess this is the 70s, right? This would be the 70s then?
Mm-hmm.
So it's punk rock,
Well,
Or like early 80s.
early 80s.
early 80s, yeah.
That's very Farrah Fawcett hair.
Yes.
Yeah. She snuck me into a bar, not to drink, just to see what it was like inside. Taught me to play pool. I told her what I thought were funny stories from my high school history class, and she listened. She definitely didn't laugh.
She didn't laugh.
We went to
She
Joan
definitely didn't like me.
Jett. Yeah. We went to a Joan Jett concert together. It was amazing. I'd never heard such noise. Not just the singer and the band, but the crowds and the energy. I couldn't sleep that night. I was still so excited. I saw lights flashing every time I closed my eyes.
Might have epilepsy. That sounds like a medical condition.
It took me over a year to realize I was in love with her. It seems so obvious now, but I'd never fallen in love before. I didn't know the signs. I didn't know that sort of thing was possible between girls. I didn't have any way to recognize what I was feeling.
I mean, no gayer time than the 80s and 70s and 80s, so.
Yeah. All I knew was that I wanted to be around her as much as I could, and that even when we were together, I wanted something more. My student dorm didn't allow visitors after dark. One night I was coming home from a late study session and saw a couple kissing goodbye outside. I looked at them, and a thought flashed into my mind. I wanted Jackie to kiss me like that. That's when I started to understand how I felt and who I was. Of course, in that first moment, I was confused and desperate and worried something was wrong with me. I even considered the possibility I might be possessed or haunted by the ghost of some man.
Man, Jack.
Oh my god!
I don't know, Jackie. This.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Jackie, get away from this woman.
Jackie, leave. Can we get the bad end so they don't get together? Oh.
Can we actively fail the mission? Is that allowed?
It sounds ridiculous, but I didn't know how else to explain those feelings.
So it had to be ghosts.
A
Had to be
ghost,
ghosts.
a man's ghost.
Man's
That's to
ghost.
me. After I accepted that it was just me, I took a while, but I finally found the courage to confess my feelings to Jackie. I was afraid she'd be disgusted or insist that I need therapy.
Yep.
Instead, I found out that she'd had girlfriends before, but that she thought I was too normal and pure to ever entertain such an idea.
Because it's a sin.
From that point on, my whole world changed. She taught me how to please a woman, starting with myself. I hadn't even known. Well, okay, Christian. This is another. Everybody owes me $10.
Yes, it is. It is. Yep.
God damn it.
God damn it.
I hadn't even known that much. There was no such thing as sex education in my school.
It
Just wasn't talked about. I had no idea how much had been missing.
I believe that. I believe that wholeheartedly.
In the South?
In the South?
Yeah.
I totally believe it. Oh my God.
We were young and in love. We went to art galleries, watched fantasy films, and imagined ourselves on heroic adventures. We fit together perfectly, like interlocking crystals. What?
What?
All right, things that interlock.
Crystals.
Literal locks.
Puzzles,
We
locks.
fit together like things that fit together.
Magnets. Crystals?
Oh my God.
Oh, I'm so glad I fucking paid money for this game.
The next semester, we managed to arrange student housing together so that we could be roommates. No more visiting restrictions, no one to question the time we spent together. Our own perfect little world, where nothing could touch us, the foundation for the rest of our lives together. At least, that was what I believed at the time. We didn't take the same classes. We always had our own schedules, our moments of separation. I didn't want to be controlling and demand that she spend all her time with me. But Jackie started staying out later and later. She never wanted to tell me where she'd been.
Ba-bum.
And then, when I wanted to talk about our future, it all fell apart.
Oh no.
That's behind us now. It's ancient
It's
history.
like 3 or 4 years ago.
It's not that ancient.
Not the sort that leaves temples and mythology. It's just over. Here and now, we have work to do. I pick up the folder and set myself to reading. Sometime later.
Sometime later.
I hear the door open.
This music is both amazing and just hits you.
And kind of terrible.
Ain't kind of terrible.
Mhm.
Diane, what are you still doing here?
Oh, I was just reading. Jackie said it would be all right, and... I'm sorry, this is your office, isn't it? I'm in your way.
Well, I'm not always here, you know, but my files are.
I didn't snoop into anything I shouldn't, Mr. Williams, I promise.
I thought you were gonna call me captain here.
Oh, right.
Where is Jack anyway?
Oh, well, we made plans to visit the Lucky Penny, but the owner doesn't want us there until closing time. That's not for over an hour. So, I thought it would be a waste of her time to sit in here with me, and she probably has other things to do.
What about the waste? Well, what about the waste of your time?
Well, I suppose if the police are paying me to investigate, they want me to do more than sit here and read.
Yes, please. Do an actual job.
I'm not sure what else to do other than read. There's no specific signatures in these files to follow. Not yet.
Why don't you two drive to the site of the latest fire and see if you can draw any conclusions from the area?
I thought of that, but Jackie said it had all been cleaned up. However, Even if the symbols and the lines are gone, those locks should still be in place. And from that I can work out the orientation of the symbols in the photo. You're right. That's a good idea. I might have thought of it earlier if I hadn't been knocked off balance by being in a room with Jackie after all these years.
Yep, I'm sure that's it.
Well, I can't let my issues stand in the way of getting this job done. Thank you, Captain. I'll go find Jackie. I stand up to head back out to the main building, then pause. Where's her desk? I'm pretty sure she doesn't rate an office of her own.
I'll show you. That saxophone is going nuts.
Yeah. After I find Jackie, we head back out together to take her car. Not a fancy police cruiser, just a car. I slide into the passenger seat and place my bag neatly at my feet and brush down my skirt to avoid wrinkles.
Let's avoid those wrinkles.
There's a faintly familiar smell lingering inside, one that becomes clearer when Jackie reaches over to extract a pack of cigarettes from the glove compartment.
Ah, when smoking everywhere was the norm.
She pushes in the cigarette knob, oh the fucking cigarette knobs,
Yep.
waits a few seconds for it to pop back up, and then pulls out the lighter and presses it to the tip.
Andre, you muted also.
Shit! Sorry.
She cranks the handle to roll down the window and blow her smoke outside.
I'm trying to quit.
Why? I thought you enjoyed it. I certainly didn't.
I watch the news, you know. Cancer's hell. I don't want to do something that's gonna get me killed.
But you became a police officer?
Would you shut the fuck up? That's different. Yeah, we get injured. There's fights. Even if you're mostly a detective, sometimes you get into a mess. EMTs have it worse. Their job is always an emergency. We get hurt. We don't usually die. And it's for a cause.
Oh.
She flaps the smoke away from us.
This is just a waste.
I turn my head away, hunting for a distraction. My eyes fall on the charm hanging from the rearview mirror. It's a gold wire pyramid with a reddish-orange banded stone hanging in the center. Is that sardonyx?
Yeah. It's a charm against theft.
Since when did you believe in all that stuff?
I don't really. But you know, any edge is a good edge. What's it gonna hurt?
I mean, it's like Benny from the Mummy with all the religious
I
symbols.
was gonna say have every religious symbol
Religious
on your
symbol
neck
just
at all
poured-
times.
Yep. That's a good
Yep.
lesson. That's a solid lesson.
Besides, you get a discount on your car insurance with an up-to-date feng shui test.
True enough, these days, but I still think it's ridiculous. A polished bit of rock has no power to dissuade thieves. Unless, of course, the thieves share the same superstition or are sworn to a guild which orders them to spare any citizen who displays effect signs and pays their protection money.
Diane, you need to run a D&D game.
I was just about to say, like, that's a good world building tool right there. That's solid.
But thieves' skills, like magic stones, are only found in fantasy.
Come on, let's roll. Put out the map so I can see which way to go.
Grab the city map from the glove department and unfold it into my lap, comparing it to the information from the manila folder. Oh, that's right by the Botanic Gardens. I haven't been there since I was little.
Just tell me which road to take.
I don't have time for your shit.
Jesus. Right.
Where are we headed? Oh, what's going on?
Jackie parks her car at the entrance to the Botanic Gardens.
Wait here. I'll get us in.
Don't I need to pay for my ticket?
No, this is an active investigation. We're doing a job. There's no need to charge us with admission.
She walks up to the ticket window, pulling her badge out of her pocket. I suppose she's right. You don't make the plumber buy a ticket in order to get in and fix the pipes. You're here to examine a scene, not to take advantage of the gardens for a cheap date. Of course.
Why?
It is a long way, and we're not really expecting to find much in the way of clues. Most of what we'll get from this visit is a pleasant walk. I don't want to accidentally encourage police corruption. Maybe I'll send them a donation later.
Oh, Diane.
Your thoughts should be framed in a museum.
Oh my God.
All right, it's taken care of. Lead the way.
Me?
You're the expert here.
I'm not an expert on parks and gardens.
Oh my fucking god.
Oh my God. Oh. Ooh.
No, but you're trying to get into these people's heads. You can recognize what might matter to some cults or whatever. So point out anything that catches your interest. Ask any question you want.
Oh my God.
My favorite part about visual novels is that every protagonist is a blithering idiot.
Is a dumb dummy head.
Right. She's trying to be helpful, I think. She likes me.
We're hitting it off.
We're hitting it off. It's
Going
working.
well.
I can't believe it. Oh my God.
Okay, then follow me. I don't really know my way around here, so the first thing I do is check out the map of the gardens posted just past the entrance gate. If I understand the layout correctly, the site where the mysterious fire was set is in the woods deep inside the property, a ways walk from here. Those woods and the nearby lake aren't part of the formal gardens, but by going through the gardens is the only official way for the public to access the area. It looks like there's another driveway for service vehicles somewhere on the other side of the block, but otherwise the whole area is bounded by walls, hedges, and chain link fencing. When was the fire here set? Not while the gardens were open, was it?
Well, we don't know the time exactly, but the site wasn't discovered until this morning. Or until morning. It probably happened after hours.
The entrance gate would be locked after hours, wouldn't it? Do you think they climbed over to get in?
Parking in the main lot at night when it should be empty might attract attention, and it's not very close to where they were going.
I look at the map again, noting all the ways the garden paths fork and twist. Even now in the daylight, it would be easy for us to miss a turn and end up in the wrong place. Unless someone knew this area really well, it would be hard to reach that clearing from here in the dark. Someone who worked here would know the way, but we don't have any reason to suspect that, especially since this wasn't the only fire, just the most recent one.
The fire clearing's not that far from the south fence. They could have parked somewhere along the block and climbed over here.
She's right that it's a short distance on the map, but it also looks like untouched forest in that patch. Branches, bramble, leaves, mud. The ground was wet that night. If they came crashing through the woods, they might have left a trail. There could be footprints or torn bits of fabric, or maybe items that fell from their pockets and missed in the dark.
It's probably too late to find anything like that now.
Oh. That's right. The fire was last week or thereabouts, and the police already checked the area when they took the photographs. Any clue in the woods would either have been found already or be trampled up by now.
I mean, we play Phoenix right, and cops miss evidence all the fucking time, and that's how we win our cases. So,
That's just how that shit goes.
That's how that shit goes, so.
It was a good thought.
She's trying to support me. I ought to show better manners. I'm being rude here.
It's me.
It's me who's being terse. Let's go and see. Let's go see what we can see.
Oh my god.
I don't know why terse tickled me.
It's the exact same. Same.
We steer away from the children's nature exploration zone, past a wildflower field towards a stream. A tiny wooden arch bridge, painted red, crosses over the rocky water. Beyond that, there's a hill covered with daffodils and a trail lined with blooming dogwood trees. But we don't turn towards the flowers. We follow the pebbled path to its end and continue on fainter dirt trails, away from gardens and into the woods. We walk a little further, and then Jackie raises a hand.
There. I think that's the spot.
Up ahead, I see a clearing with 2 logs sitting on the grass. There's no fire circle and no spoked wheel dug into the dirt, but there is a large area of torn up ground where the evidence might have been wiped away. I don't see any trail trampled through the woods either, but that doesn't matter right now. I stand beside the disturbed earth and take in the slow, quiet breath, letting the atmosphere wash over me. It's peaceful here. We're far enough from the big road that I'm not hearing a lot of traffic noise, just trees. A nice place to have a picnic.
Yep.
It wouldn't be so quiet at night in summer when the bugs are out and the air throbs all around you.
What?
But when the weather is cool and wet, like it has been, the night would be a cascade of drips and rustling.
Haha, there she said it. She said the name of the game.
Oh my god.
What would it feel like, creeping around here in the dark with mischief in mind, trying to move by stealth over uncertain ground, not knowing who might be on watch, every sound a possible danger? If it was a cloudy night, the darkness under the trees might have been almost opaque. Would the culprit or culprits have risked a flashlight, or did they have to feel their way around, stumbling through plants and branches in quest of solid ground? We don't know how many people were involved. Struggling alone in the dark could be terrifying, but in a group that might transform into a sense of adventure, which is the biggest driving force for crime. A challenge or a dare, perhaps, an initiation, one member to build the fire while the others led the way and kept watch, an orchestrated ritual, each participant drawing a line in the dirt.
Was this the Midnight Society?
Yeah.
Those creepy fucks.
Have you been listening and watching at all, Christian? Come on.
Oh my god.
That would mean 10 people, though, and that seems like too many to pass through the woods without doing permanent damage. Fewer than that, I would think. Maybe even just one. Somehow, someone built a fire out of wet wood in the dark, set it alight, and roasted a duck carcass over the rocks. Did they sit then?
I can't believe you.
Did they sit and then watch it burn? Did they pray or chant? Were they frightened, desperate to get away? Were they exhilarated by the blaze? Were they themselves blazed? I am so neglected. I hear Jackie step in close beside me, and my shoulders immediately tense. For a moment, I'd forgotten she was here.
Pick anything up?
I'm not psychic, you know.
No, but you might have good intuition.
Might have.
Too many people think they have intuition when all they have is imagination.
Whoa.
Yeah. I see.
Did I snap at her just then? I didn't mean to. Oh, God. Diane, go to therapy. Jesus Christ.
Go to therapy, Diane.
I was just trying to picture what it would have been like here at night, that's all. To see if that viewpoint would open up any new possibilities.
And did it?
No.
No!
Not really. I'm not useful.
The fuck?
This is an elaborate scheme to get close to you.
I wouldn't be surprised. I'm not scratching my face.
Feeling uncomfortable, I reached for my notebook. I wanted to come here and check the orientation of those logs so I could update my notes about the layouts of the symbols. Do you have a compass?
Why would what?
A compass. What for?
To tell which way is north.
It's afternoon. Just look at the sun and shadows.
I know about east and west, but the sun doesn't set perfectly to the west, you know.
It doesn't?
No, it depends on your location and the time of year.
You got some smarts in that brain of theirs.
Diane's very smart. I don't know that she's
lacking in social intelligence
Yes.
in a way that is very
Yes.
very clear.
very worrying.
Very clear.
I don't remember all the details without looking it up, but I know it can be north or south of east.
Well, it's close enough, isn't it?
Details matter. This precise ritual meaning. I cut myself off. It's obvious that she doesn't have a compass, and complaining about it is not going to change the facts. Just have to work with it. Well, if I mark down the sun's position at this exact time, I might be able to work out the true orientation later, if it's important. So, yes, it's close enough.
Good.
I checked my wristwatch. It took longer to walk here than I thought, and I copied the time down in my notebook, along with a quick sketch of the site as I see it. I'm certainly no artist, but even squiggles can help show what stood where. While I'm here, I make other notes of the little details photographs couldn't tell me. Bird song, tree shapes, everything I can see and hear from this location. I can hear Jackie shifting from foot to foot.
Look, I just wanted to say that I'm sorry.
Huh?
I'm sorry I don't have a compass.
Oh. I mean, that's not important.
I'm supposed to be assisting you, and you asked me for something, and I couldn't provide.
Hi, Pooja. Hey.
Hi, Pooja.
We're playing a detective game with a dumb protagonist.
Stupid.
So
Stupid.
So
Stupid folklorist.
So stupid folklorist.
It's fine.
If there's anything else you'd like me to do, if you want me to search for the woods or check the fence or...
Really, it's fine. I'm not going to give you a bad grade.
F.
What?
Never mind. Actually, we should probably get going. I don't think there's anything else to find here. I'm not sure there was anything to find here at all. I'm more interested in what we'll discover at the Lucky Penny.
Oh, right.
Do you remember the way back?
Of course.
Then lead the way.
All right.
She walks ahead of me. I pause for a moment, taking a last chance to survey the scene. I know forests don't really have a spirit, but I'm glad that whatever happened here didn't do any serious damage to this place. It's beautiful and it deserves to be appreciated.
I'm glad Smokey the Bear didn't come out and just punch somebody in the face and kill him.
Yeah, could you imagine?
I can't stop imagining.
I'd play that game.
Coming here was mostly busy work, but it wasn't entirely wasted. I'd better hurry back to the car.
Off we go!
Woohoo!
Jabon.
To the Lucky Penny.
Jackie pulls up along the side of the road and switches off the engine, letting the car settle into silence. The street itself is quiet, although I can see some activity off in the distance. I think there's a restaurant down that way. There could be a lot of students in this neighborhood, but these particular shops are more on the outskirts and slightly run down. Not as many people walk out here. On the other hand, it's closing time now. It may have been busier earlier in the day. We get out of the car and close the doors.
Charming, huh? Nothing residential, definitely no surveillance cameras, no night witnesses.
That's a podcast.
I guess it would be easy for a vandal to strike.
Vandal.
Or a burglar if they thought anything was worth taking.
But the shop wasn't robbed, so...
There you are.
A harsh voice suddenly cuts into my thoughts.
Ooh.
Oh.
Oh.
Hello?
Hello?
Can we help you?
Older woman, her face already half stiffened into a scowl. A cloud of hairspray surrounds her, holding her faded blonde tresses in a position surely as they were wired in place. It's not charitable, but she reminds me straight away of the lunch lady at my old high school. A horrible woman who had no sympathy for anyone who'd forgotten their food or thrown away their retainer. I try to control my flinch and put a bright smile on my face. This must be the Lucky Penny's owner, Jolene Wilcox. Hello, Mrs. Wilcox. My name's Diane. This is my friend, Jackie, whom you spoke with on the phone.
What kind of voice?
Oh, there's little dots.
What kind of voice do I give this woman? What's the consensus?
Do you want to do an old bag?
I was thinking about old bag.
It's an old bag.
You people are always too late.
Yeah. She didn't want us to come any earlier in the day. Well, she may be determined to be difficult, but she has a right to be upset after what happened to her store. She's probably frightened, not knowing who's responsible or why, or what else the vandals might do. Thank you for taking the time to...
I had to spend my own money cleaning up that mess, you know. My own money. What are my tax dollars for, huh? So, who's supposed to help me now? Are you fixing to stick around and guard the place overnight, like I asked for?
This is Jackie.
I really don't think that's necessary, ma'am. This was probably an isolated incident.
Isolated my ass.
But we're doing everything we can to locate the person or persons responsible and see that they're held accountable for their crimes.
We've got a few questions for you, but do you mind if we take a look around inside first?
That's why you're all supposed to be doing it, innit? So get on with it.
I dial up the smile as brightly as I can.
Why you smiling like that? Got problems with your jaw?
Thank you. We'll do our best. She snorts. Finally, we managed to bypass the Minotaur and enter the maze of death.
Jesus!
Damn, that's got some bars on it. Woo!
I'll have what you're having, Diane. Please.
Diane is made of fucking titanium.
Damn, holy shit.
It's a lot of junk. Not really antiques, just stuff. Old, used, a little bit dusty. The whole place smells like a mix of potpourri and mildew.
Oh.
If I'd been expecting a hidden trove of treasures and mystical artifacts, I'd be disappointed. As it is, I'm simply confused. What drove a vandal to target a place like this? Jackie turns in slow circles, apparently uncertain what to look at.
I'm not sure how we're going to find any clues here.
Seeing her at a loss stiffens my spine. I pull out my notebook. I can do a quick catalog. Not everything here, obviously, but getting a feel for the kinds of things this place sells, that might tell us something about who visits the shop.
Be my guest.
8 clues here this time.
8?
8?
Jesus.
Wow.
Where do we start, gang?
Jesus.
Start with the jewelry.
The jewelry.
There are a number of glass discs hanging in the window. A black dot in the center surrounded by light blue and white to represent an eye, surrounded by a darker blue. These are Nazar charms. They're good luck. They ward off the evil eye. Probably a popular gift item. The store certainly has enough of them.
Does that have anything to do with the evil eye that was painted on the window?
We're not sure that was an evil eye. The charms are visible through the window from outside, so there might be some connection, although they probably weren't visible at night when the graffiti was painted, since the window would have been dark. Anyway, I'll mark them on the list.
Sure.
There's a jewelry display case set up in the front window and a larger case in the center of the store, as well as a few baskets and swivel stands here and there. I assumed the most valuable items might be the ones protected by glass, but it looks like all costume jewelry and folk art to me. There's a bracelet made of individual shiny black stones, the size and shape of the pellets on a candy necklace. There's a necklace whose pendant is a thin circle of green crystals shot through with black lines, almost like a sunburst. There's a ring with a clearly faceted stone set in deep so the top of the stone is flush with the metal of the band. The stone sparkles less that way, but it also won't catch on things so much. It's more practical. There's a tray of birthstone jewelry set out in a grid by month, modified to be the cheapest versions of the possible stones. Unlike most of the items, these are clearly new. You could find a tray just like this in any department store's little girl section.
What's everyone's birthstone?
I think turquoise?
What about you, Dylan?
Mine sucks. I hate pearl.
Is yours pearl? Mine's opal, so I get what you mean.
What is yours?
Opal.
Opal.
Opal's fucking rules. Oh my god.
Opal rules.
I saw like a few like opal things at the museum I went to recently, and it's so fucking good.
Yeah. We love ourselves a little rainbow colored stone.
Mm-hmm.
I wonder how many little girls come in here. For now, I'll write down jewelry, various.
The window itself. Nope.
See those like little things on top of the filing cabinet? That looks kind of interesting.
Nope.
No, the little filing cabinet.
Oh, the little filing cabinets. Here we go.
Around the store, a variety of gold wire pyramids have been placed on top of empty surfaces, each one with a different colored crystal hanging in the center. Most of them aren't really crystals, though, but stones tumbled smooth and shiny. These look like that charm you have in your car.
Well, I didn't buy mine here.
I didn't think so. I see these in stores all over the place. There's probably a factory in Taiwan churning them out.
Probably.
Each crystal is meant to have different vibrations, so the color shows what it's meant to affect. Promote love, bring good luck, ward off drunkenness. There's a charm for everything. I'm not sure how many of the purchasers would know which stone traditionally meant what without the cards to label them, though. I'll add them to my list.
Is the other one also? Nope. Bookshelf, why not?
There's a small number of old books near the front and a much larger collection lining the back wall. If there's any organization, I'm not seeing it. There's some cookbooks, a field guide to edible wild plants, a book of baseball legends for children. Oh, an Enchanted World book about alchemy. I've seen these. They're not as comprehensive or reliable as the folklore guides I own, but they have nice pictures, and they make the history of magic more accessible to young readers.
That's good.
Well, the history of human belief in magic, anyway. That's the only thing that's real. Camelot never existed, but the legend of King Arthur still has effects through time.
Get dunked on, King Arthur.
Fuck you. Your fictional version fucking is way better.
Sword,
Get fake.
sword and stone slaps.
Yeah. Of course, magic is out of fashion now in favor of psionic phenomena and anything that sounds halfway scientific.
What?
I don't think there's anything important here. I'll just say books on my list.
What about do you see at the bottom left, there's like a soccer ball?
There you go.
Yeah. There's a collection of old toys shoved under a table. From the price tags, they seem to be mostly worthless. Nothing really stands out other than the twisty cube, which I was never good at solving.
Bitch, you mean a Rubik's Cube?
Cube, you idiot!
A Rubik's Cube?
Bitch, you mean Rubik's?
Jesus.
Oh my god!
The store sells toys, so it might attract children or parents. That's all I can say about that.
Fucking Twisty Cube.
The Twisty Cube.
Nope, nope, nope. Nope.
What about the sign?
Sign?
Yeah.
Nope.
What about the Napoleon bust?
Nope.
What about the snow globe?
Nope.
What about the boat
Yeah.
Boat where?
on the
On the
right?
right.
The
Painting.
Nope.
What about the lamp?
Nope.
Okay. How about
Wait, there's a filing cabinet. There's lots of filing cabinets.
there are several large metal filing cabinets in the store. I pull open a drawer to peek inside. Plastic pages, each with a sleeve to hold a paper card. Baseball cards? I'm sure some of these are worth money, but I don't know anything about sports or the players. I guess collectors like them. I'll mark them on the list.
Yeah. You need 2 more clues, everybody. 2 more clues.
Okay, I have an idea. What about this spot of sunlight on the middle of the floor?
Nope.
The teacups?
Teacups. Nope.
Did you try any of the paintings that are on the wall?
Alright, just start painting. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Nope.
No.
What about the globe?
Globe. No.
What about what's that at the end? Is that a cake?
The baskets with the stuff inside them?
Oh, yeah.
No.
What about the stool?
Nope.
What about that box?
Yeah,
Box?
boxes.
Nope. Box?
Got it,
Nope.
okay.
Nope. Nope. Nope.
Dang, okay.
I guess this game's hard.
You could use the hint.
I mean, we can use a hint. Yes.
Do you want to use a hint?
Yeah, we'll use a hint for the stupid baby game.
Flower pots, National Geographic, the jewelry, toys. Flower pot. Oh, okay, the flower pot. That's what we're missing.
Yeah, we didn't do Flower Pot, and we didn't do National Geographics.
Where are the National Geographic?
It's National
Oh,
Ge-
the yellow ones, yeah.
Oh, yes, these.
I actually have a big old stack of National Geographic just like that.
There's a bunch of old National Geographic magazines on one side of the shelves, some filed correctly and others stacked on their sides. My dentist used to get these. I always loved looking at the pictures. So much color. The top issue on the stack has a cover featuring a strange golden mask. Probably the death mask of my senior kid. These must be for collectors. I'll put them on my list.
And then potted plant.
There's a cluster of small flower pots on the floor, kind meant for putting plants on desks or kitchen countertops. Some are plain terracotta, but others have been painted with simple, cheery designs. Suns, flowers, leaping dolphins, the sort of things you'd find decorating children's rooms. They're cute if I had any plants to put them in. I'm really no more of a dog person than a plant person. plants are too quiet.
Because they don't speak. What?
Not always.
What?
But then that's probably what some people want.
You need to go to the government if your plants are talking.
Diane, you need help.
There's some other vases, dishes, and cookery around too. I'll note them for my list. I think that's all I can work out from this scene right now. There's a lot of stuff in here, but no obvious evidence for why anyone would want to target this shop.
Nobody left a single note saying I did it, huh?
I'm sorry.
Let's see.
I guess it's not usually that easy, is it?
No.
I should relax a little. She's not asking me to write Sherlock Holmes overnight. She's actually been pretty sensible. I think we're going to fall in love right now. Anyway, I don't see anything obviously controversial. Some thrift stores still do a lot of business in old Jim Crow signs, but there's nothing like that here. I don't see any hoochie coochie pictures anyway.
Coochie coochie.
No
Hoochie
Soviet
coochie.
collectibles. Not even much of anything religious. I wonder if it's Mrs. Wilcox took anything out of sight.
You'll have to ask her.
Right.
You don't like her, do you?
I don't know her. I don't think she responds well to me. She kept talking over me earlier. Jackie she treated with more respect. Maybe it's the way she dresses. Didn't your captain say it was your job to look official and ask questions?
True.
She pushes the door open and holds it for me.
After you.
Once we're outside, Jackie takes a casual stride forward, her hips stating authority.
Yep.
Her ass demanding.
Her ass. Absolutely demanding.
Miss Wilcox, ma'am?
What is it?
She turns, flicking something away from her hand. A cigarette, most likely.
Have you rearranged the store at all since the vandals struck? Changed your merchandise, moved anything out of sight?
When would I have the time? Bad enough I had to clean up that window.
Yes, ma'am. Sorry about that.
Hmm.
Have you had any problem customers lately? Someone who might have held a grudge against you?
Well, now that you mention it. I caught a couple of kids in here last week trying to shoplift. Reed's little weasel tried to claim it was an accident and a misunderstanding. Accident nothing. I saw him shove that jewelry into his pocket and try to walk out the door with it. I grabbed him by the scruff of his little neck and dragged him back.
How old a kid are we talking about here?
I don't know, teenager?
Right. Ma'am, it's generally not advisable to engage in physical conflict. We wouldn't want you to get hurt.
What? You think I'd let that piece of trash get away with it? No way in hell. Excuse my language. Took my property back from him, put the love of Jesus into him as best I could. I tossed him and his friend out, told him never to come back. I guess you might call that a grudge.
Yes, ma'am. You don't happen to know the name of these kids, do you? Got a description?
The thief was like Puerto Rican or something. I didn't get his name.
Oh,
Okay.
Jim is playing fast and loose with me right now.
You better watch yourself, game.
Watch it.
I hide my wince. Because I don't think she knows what that means.
About as tall as that little miss. Kind of skinny, had hair short and black.
Little miss?
What about what he was wearing? Any bandanas, purple shoelaces? What the fuck?
Gang colors. Latin Kings most likely.
Nah, no gang colors from that I saw. He had this black t-shirt with a skull on it. Weird looking skull with long teeth. A friend was waiting outside, probably to pass over the loot. Didn't get a good look at him. White boy, light hair, maybe blonde, maybe reddish. One of those stupid hairstyles that's short in the front and long in the back.
Ah, the mullet.
A mullet.
Whatever.
Did they make any threats when you told them to leave? Did you see them again after that?
Nah, they just ran off. I don't know if those two, if it was those two that messed up my shop. Could have been any punk. Streets are full of them.
Well, we'll look into it.
Sure you will.
Fuck you. Wow.
We're doing our best to help.
I don't care about your best. If you're not arresting anyone, and you're not gonna guard my place, then take yourself out of my way.
Yes, ma'am. We'll update you if there are any new developments.
Yeah, whatever.
Go drink water.
Yeah, please. Jackie bows her head politely to Mrs. Wilcox, then escorts me back to the car.
I can see why that voice destroys you, Andre.
Yeah, it's fucking rough.
Woo! My voice hates me right now.
We slide back into our seats, pulling the doors closed. I guess that ma'am really is department policy.
Huh?
Oh, sorry. It was something Mr. Williams, your captain, said to me. I thought he was funny when he called me ma'am, and he said it was professional manners.
Ah, right. Well, yeah, we're in stressful situations. Tempers run hot. It's important that we don't rise to it and don't make things worse.
I suppose she has a right to be in a bad mood after someone defaced her store.
For all we know, she's like that all the time. Doesn't matter. She still has the right to protection and to politeness.
That's very mature of you, Detective.
Yeah.
Did I say something wrong? I guess we could be getting back to the station now. It'll be time to think about dinner in a bit, don't you think? Wait, did I just ask her to dinner?
Whoops.
I didn't mean to ask her for dinner. I don't want to have dinner with her. I mean, not really.
Yep.
I mean, I would if she asked. Because it's polite.
That's exactly what it is.
Good. Good save.
Why do I have to be assigned to work with her of all people? One moment it feels like talking to an old friend, like we're young again and bouncing banter off each other. At what point?
When did this happen,
Diane! There has been zero banter.
Diane, what the fuck are you talking about?
The next moment, there's sand in the gears. I'll stop. It could have been worse. I could have ended up with someone my father's age, with a walrus mustache and a thick hand on my...
Hold on.
It's all good.
Moving.
I'm sorry, what? Focus, Diane. I must have zoned out for a second. What did you say?
Oh my god. I said I have plans tonight, so I won't keep you out too late.
You don't admit that you zoned out. It's just the two of you. You gonna? What did you say? Come on, Diane.
Oh. But she said she wasn't seeing anyone.
Bum.
I suppose she doesn't have to be in a relationship to have plans.
No.
Her hand reaches for the radio knob, hesitates, then drifts back to the wheel, music untouched.
We should get moving.
Right. She starts the engine and heads back out onto the road. I wonder what her plans are for the evening. She probably has women crawling on their hands and knees begging for her attention.
Are you one of them? Because Jesus Christ.
Clearly.
Because you were so fucking thirsty, Diane. Please.
Golly.
Though if no one in the apartment knows about her, she must have to be somewhat discreet. No, I don't want to know.
You parked at the station, right? Can I drop you off there?
That's fine.
Right. Good. So I'll call you if there's any new developments.
Okay, and I'll cross-reference some of these symbols and see what I can get.
Yeah.
She stared straight ahead, knuckles tight on the steering wheel. I keep my hands flat on my lap. I can't wait to get home.
Okay.
Wow,
I think
this is a swanky place.
I feel like we should save soon.
We should save.
We've been going a while.
Quick save. There you go.
I come in through the front door clutching a phone bill and 2 ads for yard work that were shoved into my mailbox. Timmy comes bouncing up to greet me, barking all the way. He's not tall enough to jump up and lick my face, though I do get paws on my legs. Just a minute. Let me put down my purse. My work schedule is erratic, so there's no consistent routine for me coming home and going for him to get used to. He's well behaved by himself, but he's always excited to see me. Woof! And for Timmy, excited means spinning in circles, making noise. I set down my purse in the mail and grabbed the jar of Timmy's treats in the closet. Sit. Give me your paw. Good boy. I give him the treat and let him finish while I turn on the TV. Then I call him over to the couch for petting and snuggles.
I do have a question.
What's up?
Is that $10 or?
That's a little $10.
That's a little $10.
yeah, that's
$10.
definitely $10.
That's pretty
Okay.
good. Those are all clean grips.
Yep.
I will need to take him for a walk in a little bit and feed him his dinner, but I don't want to rush right back out the door just after getting in.
Okay, hold on.
What'd you say?
Gotta charge my phone.
Ah.
Alright, yeah, there, cool.
Anyway, petting Timmy is soothing, and I like soothing. He's my perfect little lap fluffy. The television, unfortunately, is less soothing. I'm right in the middle of an ad break.
Hot.
Hot, sweet, sexy, and haunted by a secret that threatens to destroy her family.
Oh, yeah.
The woman on the screen pumps a shotgun and sneers at the camera. That's one way to chase off family problems, but I never wanted to learn to shoot.
Oh, I have to do the 80s
Yeah.
trailer voice.
Yes.
Hold on.
The scene,
If it goes back.
It goes back.
the scene changes to show a bunch of sad people crammed into an elevator together.
Driven to despair by new car prices, averaging over $13,000.
I'm in no position to buy a new car.
God, get a life, Diane. I'm in no position to buy a new car, no matter how they price it.
Woo, Lord.
The next commercial is a series of close-ups of supermodels talking about how great their fancy makeup makes them feel. I could get up and change the channel, but then I'd have to move Timmy off my lap.
Oh my god.
The conundrum.
Oh my God.
This is so mundane.
If she fucking makes a TV dinner next and we have to walk through all of the emotions she feels when she uses the microwave.
What's that fucking? I'm trying to think of the. I unpeel back the kids' cuisine.
I stab a few small holes in the cellophane and then peel off the corner just slightly as per the directions.
I then grab a pouch of Capri Sun.
We now return until we meet again.
That was good.
Finally, some proper international romantic spy drama to take my mind off things.
Amazing.
After taking care of Timmy's needs, I make myself a nice pot of stovetop
Oh,
spaghetti.
so close. So close. You're right there.
God.
Don't skip any steps, game. I need to know everything.
Tell me all of your opinions about spaghetti, Diane.
I need the info.
I love spaghetti.
But I only eat it when I'm by myself, in case I lose control of the sauce.
Oh no!
Oh no, Diane, you gotta go to the white boy with the sauce. Oh,
Oh my gosh.
I can't believe
Go to
it.
white boy.
Go to the white boy with the sauce. Oh.
I'm by myself a lot though, so it's not much of a restriction. Timmy likes to snap up bits of dry noodles, but I don't let him have very much.
Good.
I finish my meal, put the leftovers in the fridge, and drop the pot into the sink to soak. And then the phone rings. I head over to my desk to pick it up. Hello? Oh, hi. It's my Aunt Agnes. I carefully unpink the coil. Aunt Agnes better be a fucking ghost. I feel like I need.
Hello, Diane.
I desperately need an event to occur. I carefully unpink the coiled phone cord. The curls tend to get linked into themselves, especially if I'm fidgeting with them, and carry the receiver over the couch to settle in. I'm losing it. I love my aunt, but she's never heard of a short conversation.
Oh, good. Great. You do have so much in common.
It's her long distance bill, not mine, so I don't want to hurry her along.
Damn.
I know she's a bit lonely and arranges her budget to make sure we keep in contact.
Damn.
Oh.
Yes, I'm taking care of myself. Just had a home-cooked meal.
Of spaghetti. Here's how I prepared it.
No, it wasn't macaroni and cheese.
Oh,
It's very close.
It's very close though. To the same family.
Oh, that's a good idea. I should make a dessert. Maybe that's spice cake with walnuts? I can't help it if my metabolism works that way. I do love desserts, but I feel like I would be spoiling myself if I made cakes too often. I only make cakes on nights where I'm alone, which is every night. Besides, it's a little sad to eat a whole cake by yourself, and cake is not always safe for dogs.
Why are we here?
It didn't stop Timmy that one time, but he's better trained now.
Mm.
Oh, you finished the book? What did you think? My eyes stray to the bookshelf where I keep pristine copies of all my published works. Of course, the name on those spines is not Diane Carter. Not exciting enough.
Okay, what's the name we think she went with? What's the name?
I want to say something like, what kind of books did she write again?
I don't know.
My first thought was like an Agatha Christie sort of name.
That's.
This is so weird. This is the second time today that Agatha Christie has come up in conversation.
Oh,
Really?
That's really weird.
Wow.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm thinking of something like literary porn. You know, like Diane Hot Rod or something.
Diane Hot Rod.
Diane Hot Rod. What a name.
Coordinate to me.
There are a few people here in the South who wouldn't be happy about their children being taught by someone who'd also written sword and sorcery novels featuring women in leather bikinis.
What?
Excuse me?
She writes erotic fantasy
Okay,
fiction.
I do write
Okay,
literary
so
porn.
this is fucking Chuck Tingle. Okay.
Yeah.
Well,
Is he a bastard?
I don't know.
I don't know.
I don't remember.
The covers feature the leather bikinis. My actual heroines usually wear more armor than that, but my agent insists that infiltrating a slaver pit sells more copies.
I mean, Star Wars did come
I
out
guess.
with them, so.
Star Wars was the shit.
Yeah. I write as Rosalind Perry for that delicate taste of Old England. The author blurb inside the cover admits that I'm American, but no one actually reads those before buying a book.
Fair.
Only the first impression matters.
Fair enough. Fucking, that's a call out.
Hawk? Oh, well, I wasn't planning on him coming back, but maybe. My publisher will not allow me to write scenes depicting lesbian sex or to put a heroine in a long-term relationship with another female character.
Ah, the 80s.
But they will let me suggest that encounters have taken place, especially if the protagonist gets something out of it. Secrets, a key to the castle gate, being hidden from soldiers, whatever. My heroines tend to love them and leave them, men and women both.
Oh, so that's also bisexual tendencies are like, hey, but lesbians, no.
Yeah.
Wow.
I didn't say that. I haven't started the new book yet, but I did start a new, well, not a job exactly. It's not full-time, not even part-time. It's more of a contract, an assignment. I'm an expert opinion on esoteric religion. Finally, I get to use the degree for something other than naming priests and demons.
I can't believe they got a degree in esoteric religion. And they had to write a paper, a thesis most likely to get that degree.
Mhm.
I mean, sure.
What the fuck?
You get a degree on like anything, basically.
Pretty much.
Oh, and you'll never guess who I'm working with. Jackie Morales.
That's a good name. I won't lie.
Yes, that Jackie. Aunt Agnes is my only relative who knows and understands about my life. Not that it really is a lifestyle. I've just been living here alone for... No, I'm not alone. I have Timmy.
That's not. Whew, Lord.
Can you believe she ended up in law enforcement? If I had to bet, I would have put money on her being arrested instead.
Damn.
Would have sounded more likely. I thought she had a juvenile record, but maybe I was wrong. Or maybe those don't count. I mean, she's strong and it makes sense she would want to protect people. It's just, we were always, you know, protest girls in college. And now here we are working for the department. Yes, I said we. That's who hired me. I told you I'm their expert on cults. It's not like the days where they used to shoot hippies. It's crazy.
What? I mean,
they did
you are
do
not
that.
wrong.
They did do that.
They sure did do that. The way she just dropped that, so casual.
This isn't the time. They shot hippies years ago. It's not the
Not like they
same.
shot hippies,
But it's
I mean,
totally different now, for one. The hippies aren't here anymore.
Yes, they're gone because they shot them all.
It's a whole new system. We're here to solve mysteries. Yes, I remember about the bombing. No one could forget that. The
Are you
old-
doing a Peanuts like
Yeah.
trumpet?
Yes.
Oh my
Sorry.
god. The old police up in Pennsylvania got so caught up in consequences for criminals that they dropped a bomb on an American neighborhood.
What?
An actual bomb. Like we were all afraid the Soviets would do one day.
What the fuck?
What the fuck happened in this world?
They killed their targets and their neighbors and their children. A whole block of houses was wiped out.
God damn!
Christ. And for what?
And for what?
This game is taking
I,
years off my life.
I'm being whiplashed by this game.
God.
Okay. To punish a few people who peddled crack and didn't pay their rent? How could that be fair? How could anyone justify that?
I'm coffee.
Oh, they tried. The old guard insisted it was all legally authorized,
Oh.
as if that made a difference to right and wrong. The news wouldn't let them out of the spotlight, and the tides of opinion turned.
As they shouldn't. They bombed an American neighborhood.
Oh, Jesus.
Like, God.
Many police departments had to be completely disbanded and rebuilt from the ground up around what should have been their guiding principle all along: to protect the public, not themselves.
Well, now we know this is a fantasy.
Yeah, this is definitely
Yeah.
this is a fantasy ace.
This
Okay.
one statement is the most unbelievable thing of all
Yep.
time. Wow.
know how much of a shakeup there was down here, though.
Uh,
I promise I'll speak up if I see someone putting the boot in. Besides, I used to babysit for Mr. Williams' daughter. He's a good man. He keeps them polite, and Jackie's been very professional. No, she didn't say anything about that.
Oh.
No, we really didn't talk about anything personal. I tried to raise the subject, but to clear the air, but she pretty much brushed it off. Not rude, just minimal. Quickest answer possible, then moving on. I guess it's all water under the bridge to her now. Oh, am I that obvious?
Yeah, definitely.
We fucking yeah.
Thumping my head against the sofa pillows. I know it's hopeless. It's been hopeless for a long time. I'm not expecting a miracle. I guess the hardest part is how much she's changed and how much she hasn't. She is this whole new responsible adult that I never predicted. But being with her, I can feel her all the time. Whenever she was near me, it was like heat on my skin.
You think that was just her body?
You were in the same car. Like...
Yeah. I couldn't turn it out. I've been tense all day. I press a hand to my forehead. Right, I know. No, I'm fine. I do have work to get done tonight. She's supposed to call me tomorrow. All right. I love you too. Bye-bye. I turn the receiver away from my face and coax Timmy off my legs so that I can stand up to hang up. Then
I take two steps forward towards the
Oh, the music got spooky.
You
Then
did
I
get a
head to
little
the
spooky.
bookshelves to find my introduction to Tantra. I should start doing some research on those symbols from the fire. But my hand pauses over one of my own novels, The Kingdom of the Sun. The protagonist is a woman whose village was razed by bandits, forcing her to take up arms in quest of her destiny. All the usual things.
All the usual shit.
The face on the cover is all wrong. The artist went with someone much paler and bustier, but the woman I imagined, the heroine I described, looks a lot like Jackie. I've never really let her go, have I?
It doesn't seem that way.
Honey.
I never expected to see her again. I don't know what I might have thought could happen. I never let myself dwell on it. Did I want her to beg me for forgiveness so we could have a grand romantic reunion? Did I want her to sweep me off my feet? Did I want her to sneer at me so I could unleash every cutting word I've ever wanted to say to her?
Oh my god.
Well, I was wrong on all counts. What does she think of me? She doesn't hate me. She doesn't want me either. She doesn't even feel guilty. She acts like everything is fine. Like we're just old friends. That is not how she's
That's
acting.
not. Oh my god. In what way is she acting like an old friend?
Oh my god.
This poor
I'm
woman.
so glad we're playing this.
Maybe this is what I need to chase out the ghosts and hammer the message into every corner of my subconscious. There's nothing there. It's over. I'm a fantasy author. I write adventures and dreams for other people to take them out of the world for a little while. But magic isn't real, and people like me don't get happy endings.
Oh my god.
At least we get good dogs, don't we, Fluffball?
Oh, Diane.
Yes, you are a good boy. Yes, you are.
$10.
$10, please.
$10,
Fuck.
At least I'm not alone.
You are so alone, Diane. It is...
So alone.
Diane, you need friends.
You need a friend that you can speak to. In order to
You need a friend that's not sexual.
Yes. In order to unlock your full energy potential, you first have to love yourself. Stand up. Wrap your arms around yourself. Say aloud, I deserve to be
God.
loved.
Oh my god, she
Oh,
does.
it's a
like,
self-help tape.
Yes,
It's
it
a
is.
self-help tape.
Yes, it is. I deserve to be powerful. I can attract the fortune I deserve. For more information, more personal information, dial 1-900-555-7792. Calls cost $2 for the first minute and 95 cents for each additional minute. Call now for entertainment purposes only. Must be 18 to call.
Call now to love yourself.
Call now to love yourself.
Jesus.
My hand hits the button on the alarm clock before my eyes creak open. Oh, 500. Time to get up.
You bitch. Just say the normal what?
I hit the shower for a quick wash. Get the body wet, turn off the water, soap up, and then rinse off. Nothing wasted.
Bitch, you better use a washcloth. I don't want to hear.
Oh my god.
Shit.
Then what happened, Diane?
Wait, I think this is.
I took 1 quarter-sized dollop of Pantene.
I think this isn't. I think this is
Oh, is this Jackie?
This might be Jackie.
Oh, in the kitchen, I slip a couple of pieces of bread into the toaster, pour myself a glass of grapefruit juice. As a kid, I envied families who could sit around the brightly colored box of frosted cereal puffs with magic tricks inside.
Yep.
I've tried buying one of the new fruit cereals. It tasted like soap. I'll pass. Breakfast is about putting fuel in your system. You never know when you might need to be ready to run. I can't remember who taught me that.
No one taught you that.
I gulped my juice. I don't know why that made me laugh. I think it's the word gulp that made me laugh.
I gulped my juice.
I gulp my juice, and the darkness punches my throat into alertness. Finish the toast, rinse the plates, check for crumbs, roll out.
Roll out.
I slide into my car and take a deep breath, centering myself.
Oh, now we're gonna get Jackie's perspective.
We're gonna get Jackie's dumbass.
Jackie's
journal monologue.
dumbass.
I'm so excited.
Hell yeah.
Then I start the engine and switch on the radio.
I think it's Jackie singing.
I'm just gonna assume it's the background music. Waiting for a star to fall. One benefit of having an early start to my day is that the radio stations haven't yet brought on the morning drive time DJs. I like my radio to play music, not bad jokes about how to be manly. All I need. The roads are wet. It rained again. Good. That usually means a quiet night. Just like doctors, the best times are when no one needs us. Since the restructuring, the new department decided it was bad policy to have too many cops during their beats in patrol cars. It leads to officers being bored and spoiling for a fight, while keeping them impossible for citizens to approach. Now most beat cops go by foot or bike, while other officers on call at the department where they can drive in with sirens for backup if needed. No emergency means no call out. No call out means once you've done your required exercise and equipment maintenance, you can spend the rest of your shift reading, studying, or watching TV. On-call shifts don't even have to do paperwork since they might need to drop it at a moment's notice. I don't mind doing the detective desk rotation, but I don't know if it's my strength. Sifting through pictures looking for connections, that's not me. I'd rather look a suspect in the eye. Most people aren't good liars if you have the guts to hold their gaze. Of course, I'm not most people.
Haha. This is the offhand.
Once I reach the department, I head to the captain's office to check in. Morning, Captain.
Morning, Morales. Hey, Jack. Everything work out with you and that teacher?
You mean Diane? Sure, so far. We don't have any suspects yet, but we've got a few leads to follow. I'm expecting her to have more details later today. She seems to know her stuff.
Good. You know, I was pretty surprised when it turned out that you two knew each other. Never mentioned it when I told you about this assignment.
It was a long time ago. Didn't seem important. Seems like you knew more about her than I did anyway. I didn't know she was a teacher.
It was just an odd thing. Kizzy told me she had a feeling about the two of you, like some kind of connection, spiritual.
This job has taught me many skills. Hiding my reactions is one of them. Oh yeah? Is because he had any feelings about any lottery numbers?
You think I'd tell you if she did? I'd hang up my helmet and take the first plane to Rio.
You're not wearing a helmet, Captain.
Oh, look who's funny today, huh?
His face sobers.
Afraid I got some bad news.
Well, that's no way to start the morning. I haven't even had my coffee yet.
Our creepy crawly firebug struck again last night.
Another campfire in the woods? It rained, so a little fire shouldn't have been too much trouble.
Well, it was in Douglaswood, but no. This time they set a fire to some old shack. Set up quite the blaze.
I refrain from swearing because I know the captain hates that.
I'm PG here in the station.
True arsonists tend to escalate. Someone burning an old shack now could be setting fire to a church next. If this is our case, it's taking a turn for the worse. You sure it's the same perp?
Not yet. That's why we need you and Diane to get out to the scene and investigate. This one's fresh, so she might pick up some clues the whole team would have missed.
Yeah, that makes sense. I'll give her a ring. I'll look up at the wall clock. After roll call. It's still pretty early in the morning. Diane's probably got a school run to make. The scene isn't an emergency, or the captain would have contacted me at home. Calling Diane can wait an hour or two. You got her number?
What? You spent the day with her and never asked?
I knew you'd have it on record. I didn't want to ask her anything personal.
Well, write it down this time.
He flips to his Rolodex and reads out Diane's name and address for me to jot down into my notebook.
Now I'll get your coffee and get ready for the briefing.
Aye, aye, sir. The morning briefing, known as roll call, is an important job, part of our daily routine. First, the captain checks that everyone's present and fit for duty, and that all necessary equipment is in working order. Next, he goes over any major incidents that occurred during the past 24 hours, any important suspects we need to be on the lookout for, any new laws or procedures that have come into effect, and any upcoming events we need to prepare for. Then there's a quick cycle around for the detectives to give updates on their active cases. This is mostly to remind us what our colleagues are working on in case it sparks a connection worth pursuing later. There's no time for detailed information exchange. No one else's recap mentions fires or occult symbols, so I don't think there's any relevance to my side. When the meeting ends, I head back to my desk to organize my papers. At last, I judge I've waited long enough and pick up the phone. It rings several times. Perhaps she's still out. There's a click.
Hello?
Diane? It's Jackie from the station. I'm at the station.
Smooth.
Is this a bad time?
No, sorry, my phone doesn't usually ring in the morning.
I can hear a muffled yawn. If you drink more coffee, she wouldn't be so tired. I've got some updates for you. I filled her in on last night's fire and I need to investigate the scene in person.
Okay, should I meet you at the station?
Why don't I pick you up at your place? That didn't come out right, did it? The captain gave me your address and it would save time. Target's a lot closer to you than the station.
Sure, that's fine. I'll get ready.
They're both idiots. Oh, okay,
Oh
good.
my god. Alright, I'll see you soon. I put the receiver back in the cradle. I better consult my map to find the route to Diane's house. going to Diane's house.
Diane, I've cheated on you, and it's because you don't fucking drink coffee. That pisses me off
That pisses
so
me
much.
off to the nth degree.
And I don't fuck with that tea shit. The radio blares laughter at me, and I switch it off. There's nothing but the thrum of the engine and the sound of the road under my tires. Diane. I put her out of my mind for years. I never tried to look her up.
Oh, it's the solemn music.
I wondered, it would be a violation if I'd used my privileges within the police to breach her privacy. Jesus Christ, Jackie! The phone book is free. Maybe she's listed, maybe she's not, I don't know.
She has to
I
be.
never looked.
What?
Also, I didn't think her last name would still be Carter. Well, it's a new age. Time was not so long ago. A woman like me couldn't have had a job like this. People do things differently now.
Fair enough.
Diane does her hair differently now. Short hair looks good on her. Doesn't look boyish at all. It highlights the roundness, softness in her face, without making her look delicate. She's not an eager or wide-eyed student anymore. She's grown up. And I guess also I have memories of her being a child still. And
This is so weird.
It's so weird. Ugh.
she's even more beautiful.
Ugh. Romance visual novels are just stupid, bitch.
They're so weird about describing people.
So good.
Still kind and caring, still innocent in her way, still wanting to save the world with love. Stands to figure she would have become a school teacher. But sometimes, the best of intentions just aren't good enough.
Yep.
That's why the world has people like me, to do what needs to be done. Whatever the cost.
God.
I pull up outside what looks to be the right address and double check my map. It's not a bad house, but it's smaller than expected. I switch off the engine.
School teacher slash I almost said book writer, like author didn't exist.
A book writer.
Like this is a school teacher slash author's salary, and they got a small house like this in the 80s. Impressive.
It's very impressive. I'm reluctant to move now. Walking across her yard, ringing her doorbell, it feels like an intrusion. Or like picking up a girl for a date, which this isn't. It was a mistake to come here, but it's a mistake already made, so I may as well finish it. I get out of the car and close the door. I can hear a dog barking. Slowly the front door moves on its own.
Adorable dress.
I love that
Hi.
dress. Yeah, that's a great dress.
Diane stumbles out the door, pulling it rapidly closed behind her. She extracts a keychain from her purse, looks like a standard leather fob, and locks the door. Then drops the keys back into place, straightens those shoulders, and turns to smile at me.
I'm ready.
I look at her feet and speak without thinking. You wearing those?
We're back to our old friend banter. I see.
Yes.
What's wrong with my shoes?
We're going into the woods and it rained last night.
That's why I'm not wearing sandals or heels.
Instead, she's wearing a pair of pristine white tennis shoes with neatly folded over socks and laces, so bright they could be fresh from the packaging.
Diane, what are we doing, Diane?
There's going to be mud everywhere. Your feet will get dirty.
Well, I don't own any boots. I know how to lift stains, you know. It'll be fine.
Bitch, what the fuck?
Of course she does. She's probably the perfect housewife. All right then. Come on.
Right.
She hurries up to my car, pulling out a notebook.
I did some research on the symbols we saw in the photograph. The ones that were written around that campfire?
The ones on paper that you said looked Indian.
Exactly. They're Sanskrit.
So it's writing. What does it say?
It's not what it says exactly. It's what it means.
What's the difference?
The letters are just sounds, but they're placed like petals in a circle to represent one of the primary chakra.
I must have looked blank because she waves her hand.
Meditation visualization concept. You picture them as nexus points within your body where energy gathers. And with yoga, you direct that energy to improve yourself.
Ah, yes. Simple explanation for my blank expression.
Yes, the nexus.
That's a simplification, but it's enough for you to get the idea. I think it's meant to be the chakra Manipura. It means something like city of jewels and light. It shines like the sun with orange and yellow and red, and a triangle in the center to signify the element of fire.
Except our perp put a real fire in the center instead. Does this mean we're looking for an Indian guru or some sort of yoga aerobics instructor?
I want both.
The only Indian mystics I know are the Hare Krishnas at the airports. They don't usually set people on fire.
No, this isn't proper use within the culture. Chakra systems are popular with a lot of esoteric traditions. It's still too easy to draw conclusions.
She pushes her glasses higher up her nose, soft little cheeks scrunching up as she settles the lenses into place. Why are we focused on the cheeks? Those same cheeks take on a hint of rose as she catches me watching.
We should probably look at your new scene, shouldn't we?
Yes, that's very reasonable. Leave her alone. She's not yours. I have to keep telling myself that.
What the fuck does it mean, Jack?
I haven't seen it myself yet, only the captain's description. Hop in. Let's go.
Just gonna float. When do we think we're gonna end? Just so I can plan.
I was gonna say 7. Just 30
Okay.
minutes from now.
Great.
We park in the woods and walk to where the old shack is located. There's an officer on scene guarding the site when we arrive. He's not from my division. I don't recognize him by sight. He leans against a tree, puffing on a cigarette, paying little attention to his surroundings. No barricade tape. I suppose it's not worth the effort of winding tape around all those trees. It's not like anyone was murdered. With the earlier fires, the official priority was to get it cleaned up as soon as possible to avoid alarm. There's not a lot of folks around here to be alarmed by anything. The shack itself looks like a wreck, though I can't say how bad it looked before the accident. Not sure what a building was doing all the way out here anyway. This is parkland as far as I know. Could have been a storage shed for the city division, but that's not much of a secure site to store equipment. Might have been something historical. I hope it wasn't important. As we get closer, the officer finally turns to notice us.
Whoa!
Whoa! Who's this?
Who's this man?
Hello.
Excuse me. You can't walk through here. You'll have to go around.
Burt Reynolds?
Yeah.
I'm the detective assigned to the forced fire case. I show him my badge. This is my temporary specialist, Diane Carter.
Uh-huh. Well, pleased to meet you, ma'am. I'm Officer Romano.
Oh, you too. I mean, it's nice to meet you.
Oh my god. She dimples at him, and he relaxes.
Sorry, I just already had to chase off a couple of hikers. Probably smoke in some shack. Now it's a shack turned to smoke, huh?
Diane manages to laugh at his joke. I don't even make an attempt. Anyone suspicious?
Don't think so.
Diane starts to move closer, then makes a face as her toe sinks into a puddle of slime.
Watch your step there, little lady.
He holds out his hand to her. She hesitates for a moment, then grabs hold of his wrist, using him to brace her movements. With a slurping sound, her foot comes free from the mud.
Y'all need to be careful. What's left of that thing's pretty unstable. You can take a look, but it's not safe to go inside. Anyway, I don't know what you think you're gonna find. Team's already been here to take stuff for the lab.
Right.
She doesn't seem likely to take the lead. I guess I should ask this guy some questions. If I can home in on the right places to press for details, clues may reveal themselves.
Click around the screen to reveal glimpses of a hidden pattern. Follow the directions of curves to find the central eye of enlightenment. What the fuck? What the fuck?
Okay.
What the fuck?
What the hell?
What's happening?
I'm like looking for the. Oh, there it is. Okay.
Oh my god. If the forensic team had been, I'm gonna start over. Jesus. If the forensic team has been and gone already, why'd they leave you on guard? Were you waiting for us?
Nah, I'm watching the site until someone can get in touch with the county officials and the owners about knocking down that wreck. It's hazard.
The department would rather clean up all this and avoid comment, like they did with earlier fires. But since the shack technically has value, they can't move ahead without permission. That doesn't tell me much. I'm sure I can get more.
I'm like looking.
I'm looking. Is it on Diane? No.
No. Oh, wait.
Oh, it's right there. It rained last night, didn't it? Shouldn't that have put out the fire?
Not once it got going. Hot fires throw off light rain. The hard part is getting one started on wet wood.
So they needed an accelerant.
Probably. Team found an empty liquor bottle over yonder, which might have worked. They took it for dust for prints.
I murmur a quick clarification for Diane. They're hoping the culprit might have left fingerprints that can be detected in the lab.
I know. I watch TV.
I shrug and look back at the officer.
Look at us bantering like old friends.
Do you know what kind of hooch it was? What's a hooch?
Alcohol. Hooch is another word for alcohol.
Oh. So many bottles of fancy labels with weird pictures. There might be something in Diane's line there.
Sorry, you'd have to ask the lab.
Well, we can go back to the station later to follow up on that. What else does he know? Alright, time to look for concentric circles. Oh, baby.
I'm like following paths here. I'm like, where the fuck? Because I don't get what it means.
I think they're rings.
Yeah.
Yes.
Speaking of prints, did the forensic team manage to get any good footprints in this mud? Diane bites her lip and looks down, apparently worried she's stepping on the evidence.
Nah, ground was too churned up between the rain and fire response team. They trampled all over. Terrible.
This was still burning when they were called out.
Oh yeah, it was quite the show.
The shack wasn't huge, but it would have sent out flames much higher than a simple campfire.
With all that mess, you'd think there'd been a whole troop of dancers through here.
Dancers?
There's no evidence of that, is there?
Well, no, it's just figure of speech.
It's a shitty figure of speech.
The other ones thought that was funny.
Well, you're not so funny.
Yeah.
Where is this hostility coming from? Ooh, Lord.
I don't like this guy. I don't like this. I don't like this Romano guy.
I don't like his mustache.
Mustache.
What about tire tracks?
Only wheels in the mud were the fire trucks.
The culprits must have parked on the road and walked in like we did this morning. It would have been dark and wet, but the shack wouldn't have been hard to reach if they already knew it was there. They must have visited the woods before in the daylight. Which doesn't say much. There's hikers and campers in these woods all the time and no one watching them. It's mostly public land. Is this tied to the last fire? Or is this a coincidence?
Alright. Trying to follow the direction.
I think when you see them starting to curve, like go in towards the curve.
Go in towards the curve. Up.
Yep.
Yep, there we go.
Yep.
Yeah, there you go. When the team was here earlier, did they find any signs of occult connections?
Yeah, you could call it that. Come here, don't touch anything.
Following his guidance, we move closer to the burned out shell and peer in through the opening that might have once been a door.
I got a light.
He sweeps a flashlight across the interior. It's less of a mess inside than I had anticipated. Since the structure was apparently never intended for modern habitation, it didn't have a complex ceiling full of tiles and insulation to rain down. Instead, what we see on the floor is something very deliberately crafted to be there.
What is that?
What the fuck?
What the fuck?
I'm not the expert, man.
No, I mean, what is it physically? That pattern looks raised. It's not painted on, but I can't see well enough.
Some kind of dirt or powder. Team took a sample for testing.
That's very good for dirt.
Yeah, it is.
Powder? Like gunpowder?
If it was, it didn't go off.
Well, the shed didn't fall down, so if no fire ever touched it.
It would have still been pretty hot in there. Even without a spark, smokeless powder would ignite.
I suppose.
Somebody obviously took a lot of time drawing these lines. The design means nothing to me, but it's definitely detailed. Diamonds and curls and stars and crosses. It couldn't have been easy to arrange all that out of powder. If they meant for it to burn, why would they leave that to chance?
They might. It depends on what the purpose was. The element of chance in divination is...
Ma'am, if you're going to talk about unholy practices, I'd rather you didn't do it here.
He gestures towards the pattern.
I don't know what devilry that is, but I don't want it gone before it attracts some kind of demon.
A summoning sigil?
Diane starts to pull a notebook from her bag, then hesitates.
Don't want to write the wrong thing and then it's a demon.
Officer Romano, are there any other unusual signs you'd like to show me? I distract his attention while Diane sketches this strange grid from the shack floor. After that, we look around the site for a while, but no hidden clues jump out at us. Romano doesn't want us going inside what's left of this shack without protective headgear, and I agree. It hadn't occurred to me to find Diane a helmet. Clearly, Diane thought ahead about some things, though. She's got a little pocket compass in her hand and is taking readings. I wonder if she's looking for ley lines. Considering Romano, though, I don't ask. She'll tell me later if it's relevant. Once she looks content with her notes, I nod to Romano and leave the shack behind us. We walk back to my car. As we settle into our seats, Diane makes a face.
My shoes are covered in mud. I've got clumps up the sides.
What? You don't say.
God.
You don't say, Diane.
What the fuck did I tell you as soon as you left the door?
You're taller than me. How come your feet look fine?
I watch my step.
I don't want to ruin your floors. Hang on.
She does her best to scrape the mud off against the curb.
Sorry.
Don't worry about it. This car's seen worse. The important thing is that we get to the bottom of this sooner rather than later.
We're in a hurry now?
When this case was just an unknown perpetrator setting weird little campfires, it was a curiosity. Now, it's a danger. Pyros, people who get obsessed with watching things burn, they don't stop. It's like an addiction. There is a bigger, better hit. So far, they've stayed out of the woods away from people, but now the next target is probably going to be bigger. If we don't find the culprit soon, someone could get hurt.
Right.
So, any ideas who might be behind this? She pulls out her notebook and starts flipping from page to page.
What we've seen so far doesn't really conform to a set tradition as far as I can tell. That pattern in the shack has nothing to do with Sanskrit or chakras or any tantric practice. And it's not related to the kinds of symbols that were drawn on Lucky Penny's window either.
So you don't have any leads?
That's not what I said. It's not a tradition that's been passed down for generations, and that does tell us something about the practitioner. In my estimation, the person behind this most likely falls into one of three categories. The first is an outsider who doesn't really know a lot about the occult, beyond thinking it's cool, so they picked some symbols at random because of how they look. They're just fooling around. The second is a New Age pagan who's trying to build a new tradition through synthesizing different beliefs. The symbols would have meaning to them, but their meanings might be twisted. The third is someone who just wants to cause trouble and suffering and doesn't care how. The symbols might be chosen at random in order to scare people.
Those are all wild.
So, random.
So random person trying to scare people.
Yes.
An old head just fucking around. Or someone who's trying to make a new religion. Or a new new meaning for the religion.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
All viable.
I still think an outcast is the most likely answer, though. Probably a teenager or someone who's encountered mystic symbols as part of their hobbies and copied them. Punks, gothics, death rockers, metalheads, Dungeons and Dragons,
No.
those people who dress up as medieval knights and hit each other every Sunday at the park.
Don't dunk on me like that.
If we talk to people like that, we might find someone who knows these symbols or who has a friend who's a little too interested in fires. I also might meet someone.
Might find some friends.
Let's have friends.
But there's a problem with this plan.
Which is?
We're grown-ups now. No outsider group is going to tattle on their friends to a couple of boring adults.
I think she's been spending too much time with small children. It's damaging her self-image.
Damn.
We're not in high school anymore. Except for the sword fighters, you probably couldn't even find these people.
Oh, you'd be surprised.
Huh?
I start the engine. Buckle up. We're going for a ride.
Uh-oh. Where are we headed?
Are we gonna go see some nerds?
We're gonna see some nerds! We're going to see some nerds!
Oh, we're gonna go see some nerds.
Oh, so
I
good.
open the door and hold it for Diane, waving her through into a small, colorful shop.
All right, let's see what we got here. We've got Mummy. We've got Paradox Girl. You've got Ideal Romance. You got, what does that one say? You got Terry. We got Terry Times. We've got Spider-Man issue 1.
Oh.
Right on the second shelf. We got Buccaneers. We got, what else have we got? I think this is.
Let's just say dragon.
That just says dragon. I think that says Wolf Woman.
On the far right,
Oh.
there's horror.
Horror.
There's an elf in the back.
There's an elf in the back.
A disco elf.
Yes.
The rarest of the elves. The walls are lined with rack after rack of comic books, each cover promising action and adventure, usually with a large-chested, spandex-clad heroine or a damsel in distress tied hand and foot to the nearest pole.
Who drew this? Rob Liefeld?
Thank you, Christian,
You're welcome, bro.
for the joke just for me.
I got you, buddy.
Diana gazes into a plunging cleavage of the girl on the wall poster.
turns pink, and quickly tries to find somewhere else to stare, eventually sitting on the crystal pyramid by the cash
Lots of crystal pyramids in this world.
Sure are. As for myself,
Whoa!
Whoa!
Hell yeah!
Wow!
Hello?
Hello!
Wow!
Who's that?
Let's see.
The young woman behind the counter looks up and grins at me, leaning over on her elbows to say hello. Hey, Tanwin.
It's too early this week. The silver cat, it's not in yet.
Diane blinks at me, apparently shocked to discover that I not only know how to find a comic shop, but that I'm a
nerd.
Well, plenty of other things to look at. There are multiple bits of useful information I'm hoping to get here. Comic stores see a lot of people in and out, especially people with strange hobbies. It's a common point of reference that they use to find others with similar tastes. Diane's right that I don't have a lot of connections with young punks anymore. That doesn't mean I don't know anything about how to find them. And this shop is a good starting point. Also, judging by Mrs. Wilcox's description of the kids who were causing trouble at her store, there's a good chance they shop here. Chandler works a lot of hours, so she might know them just like she knows me. I don't want to ruin the atmosphere with an interrogation and make myself unwelcome. I need to lead the conversation casually. Alright, let's find some fucking eyeballs.
Let's look at this character design real quick.
That's a
Damn,
good character design.
that's good.
Yeah, it's really great.
Yeah.
The
Alright,
beads, the star. Love her hair.
let's see.
No.
No.
I'm trying to remember what the colors mean.
Yep,
Oh,
yep.
Yeah.
I tilt my head toward this pyramid. Whoa, shit.
My bad.
Store selling crystals and charms now? It's certainly possible. They do have a few toys and trinkets on the back shelves. If they're starting to move into mystical doodads, that might affect the store's audience.
What? Oh no, that's mine. Sort of a good luck charm.
What stone is that?
Our carnelian. It's for creativity and positive energy.
I glance at Diane, who seems to nod slightly. Makes sense to her, I guess. Tanwin pokes the orange crystal with a fingertip, making it sway.
Got a lot of time just standing, I've got a lot of time just to stand and think here, you know.
I do, but this isn't what I wanted to talk to her about.
All right, let's.
Actually, I was hoping you might have some advice, a recommendation.
Looking for something new?
Not me, my friend. She's shy. Never been to a comic shop before.
Uh-huh.
Well, we were talking about superheroes and all their different powers. Ice, magnetism, flying, invisibility. And she was wondering if there are any good superheroes who are based around fire powers. Diane nods, focusing her features into a familiar expression of shy but eager curiosity. Got any suggestions?
Whoops! That's what happens when you right-click, folks.
Whoop!
Well, sure. Let me think. There's the Human Torch, of course, but he hasn't got a solo title right now, and this isn't a good time for a newbie to jump into the fore. Too much continuity, too many writing changes. What you need is Firestar. She's got a miniseries.
Was that the girl from the cartoon? I thought they made her up for TV.
That was for Spider-Man and his amazing friends.
Wow.
Wow. They did, but now they wrote her in a new backstory. She's a mutant now, and she's... Diane!
Maybe I should just read it.
Poor Diane obviously has no idea what we're chattering about, but she's doing her best.
Oh, shut the
God. Everybody
Listen,
hates
Diane's dumb, and Jackie's a smartass. They're
Yeah.
meant for each other.
They're actually meant for each other.
Yes. Oh, yeah, okay.
I navigate the racks and pick up all 4 issues. There probably won't be any clues in them, but being a good customer will keep Tanwin sweet. We want.
2 then.
Okay, so purple means it's closer.
Yeah. If the lines get fatter, that means you're getting closer.
Say, do you have a gaming club sign-up sheet in here somewhere? The clerk stares at me.
You telling me she wants to play Dungeons and Dragons?
Told you so.
No, not her. My boss has a daughter who's a teenager. Which is true. Although if Kizzy has any interest in D&D, I haven't heard about it. She might. Technically, I didn't say that she did. I just implied it.
This is like, first edition, second edition?
This would have been what year? I don't think second edition came out until like 1989 or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, there still would have been AD&D.
Yeah.
Yeah. I prefer not to lie when I'm investigating. I will if I have to, but it feels like bad strategy. Give truth, get truth. That makes more sense to me.
Check the bulletin board over there. We let clubs pin up cards. Oh, and warn me if anyone wrote anything obscene.
Right. Thanks. I find the corkboard and copy down some contact details on groups looking for players and players looking for groups.
The old adage.
Classic posting.
Classic posting. Yes. The looking for DM sheet is miles long, and looking for players one. It's like, so good.
Calling individual kids would be a last resort, but if their names come up in other contexts, it would be useful to know they were here. There's also a handwritten diagram that appears to be trying to explain how the nuclear weapons program was invented by aliens infiltrating the federal government.
Yep.
Whoop!
Whoop.
I dropped my pen.
Oh no.
Oh, no.
Not the right kind of kook for this investigation. I leave that alone. I have other questions to ask.
Let's...
Hey, Tanwin, speaking of teenagers, are you one?
Are you one?
Do you know a couple of kids, a Hispanic Punisher fan who's got a friend with a mullet? Judging by the t-shirts Miss Wilcox described, I'm pretty sure he reads that comic.
Well, that sounds like Eduardo and Alex.
Do you know their last names?
Eduardo Cruz and Alex Mitchell?
Before she can ask why, I cut her off. Thanks, I'll ask my friend if that's them. I dropped the comics on the counter. Can I get these?
Oh, I could.
No, it's my treat. It was my idea.
Well, that's true.
I'll just bring up these for you then.
When we returned to my car, and I tossed the bag into the back seat.
So, why exactly are you buying me comic books?
Well, you used to read fantasy novels, didn't you? She makes an odd face, her lips pulling away from her teeth. Did I embarrass her? I suppose I shouldn't mention things from the past. She's respectable now.
Ha 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 ha!
There's a chance you might find some of your mystic symbols scattered around in the yard, and that might point to a kid. Honestly, I just wanted to buy something to keep her friendly while I was getting information. We've got a few possible avenues and what might be names of our shoplifters. I'll run the names next time I'm at the station, see what I get. We should go by a record store too, and check out some album covers. Metalheads, like you said. They love the dark art look, you know?
I haven't been to a music store in a while.
Neither have I, really. Well, they won't bite. But we should. Do you want to get lunch on the company dime?
Does that mean we have to eat donuts?
Oh, ha ha. Real cute. She is, though. If I'm feeding a specialist in the course of our duties, I can expense it, as long as I don't go overboard. Fast food okay, or not healthy enough for you. She pouts.
You know I love burgers and fries.
Yeah, well, a lot of things have changed. Start the car and switch on the radio to cut off any further conversation.
She likes to cut off conversations when they get too awkward.
No DJs selling bad jokes, but only because they're reading lunchtime news reports instead.
See you on opening day. Reports have come in of a mysterious figures seen dancing around in fires in Douglas Woods last night. Is this evidence of a satanic cult in our midst?
Ah, satanic panic. I figured that's what this was.
Yep.
Shit. Pardon my language. Some other press has got wind of this. Sounds like we better get those burgers to go. Diana Gerard's looking worried. Damn, I could really use a smoke right now.
Ah, satanic panic. The classics.
The classics.
Do we want to end here?
Let's end here, yeah.
Yeah, we're between scenes. That's a good
Routine scenes,
idea.
yeah. Routine scenes. Let's save the game.
What a bunch of dumbass knuckleheads. I love
Yeah.
that.
Shit.
So
It's
much
so
knuckleheads. They're
dumb.
so dumb.
It's so
I
dumb.
like them.
I like them so much. What's what's the consensus of this game? Because I wasn't sure. I had no idea about this game. I looked at the trailer and thought this was gonna be a silly, stupid visual novel. I didn't think it was gonna be this dumb.
It's silly. They sure are bringing. They're picking and choosing some weird things to keep from the historical 80s,
Yep.
and some things to not keep.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Interesting
Yes.
choices.
Apparently, America bombed its own city,
Yeah.
I
But
guess.
the police are good now.
and the police reformed completely, like utterly changed the whole system.
Yeah, the police are good now. And-
Magic exists? Come on, baby.
But it seems like racism and homophobia are still real.
Oh, rampant and
The
wild.
police are good.
Police are good though.
Police?
Yeah.
Fine.
Police
Police
fine.
are fine now.
Well,
Well, I'm not sure when we'll play this again. If Serenity wants to come and join us for this ridiculousness. But
we also desperately, I need my Phoenix right.
I need Phoenix right back. It's been so long.
Hopefully we will play Phoenix Wright next week. Hopefully. Cross our fingers. This has been a blast. I had a blast doing this. Visual novels with my friends.
Fun, silly little game.
Always amazing. I have, of course, been your favorite A Fluffy Goomba. You can find me here on this Twitch channel every Tuesday, Friday, and Sunday, playing a variety of games with a variety of people. You can also find me on Total Party Kiss playing Tragedy Theologian, where I play a Leonin Echo Knight fighter named Ragnar the Iron Claw. Right now, at this current moment, in about an hour or so, we're gonna be doing an art stream with a Q&A led by and hosted by a lovely Super Dylan. It's so excited. Love them so much. It's gonna be a blast, and I can't wait.
It's the best show on TV.
It's the best show on TV, not TV. If you Google Chromecast it, it's the best on TV. But
Which is what I do every Sunday night.
Perfect. Perfection. That's it. Where you can find me now. I have things in the pipeline where you can catch me later. But that news will come up to that when it comes to that, unless people want to say things now. But that's it for me. Why don't we, since the host is we're gonna be hearing from them in an hour, why don't you speak up, Dylan? Hey, I'd say, so where we can find you and all that jazz.
You can find me at Super Dylan everywhere on the internet. You could see me or hear me on the Atom List, which is an actual play on the Welcome In, or a podcast at all the podcast places. But really, all I want you to do is tune into Tragedy of Theologian's art stream tonight, because that's gonna be a blast.
And speaking of tragedy and people doing art streams, Andre, why don't you speak up?
Oh my god, it's me. Hi everyone, my name's Andre. I am an illustrator and a TTRPG person. doing many things, including Tragedy of Theologian, which we're gonna have the art stream tonight, which will be very fun. I am also in the Atomless with Dylan, and I'm in the Red Line with Dylan, and I will be in the Power Rangers long shot with Christian and Dylan, and Serenity and Wally and AJ, and so many things.
So many things. I think that's a lovely way to send it off with this lovely electric guitar solo of this intro. Just going ham. And we will see you soon. I love you. Have a wonderful day. Bye.
Goodbye, everybody.